872-323.
LA 21-12671. Offices in Baton Rouge.
WNXX, Jackson, KNXX, Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers, LA 21-12681. Offices in Baton Rouge.
Good morning, everybody. It's 7 a.m. on Tuesday, June 27th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect sunny skies with a high of 99. You can follow today's show on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at OTB_ESPN, or catch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel and subscribe for daily content. Hour number one of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
Let we go!
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, P, they said I gotta come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo.
No outs and the 0-2 pitch. Base hit into left field. Jordan Thompson delivers. Dugas on his way home, and they've cut the lead in half. It's 2-1. And listen to Tiger fans applaud Jordan Thompson. A 1-2 pitch to Pearson in the air. High and deep to right field. This baby's gone! Josh Pearson. A rocket shot to right. His fourth home run of the year. A two-run variety. And the Tigers now lead 9-2 over Florida. 1-1 rocket shot to right field. This baby is gone!
Let's go!
Braden Joe Bear with the smash, the flip, and a two-run bomb. Makes it 18-4 LSU. Two outs, runner at first. The 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss! And all is right in the world. Tigers win! Tigers win! The National Championship is headed back to Baton Rouge.
Oh! Turn it up, Mario! Immortality, baby! How's it taste? Another number going on the Intimidator. The 14-year drought is finally over. My thirst is quenched. So many legends written. Omaha, once again, belongs to the purple and gold, to the Tigers. It started back on February 17th. A 10-0 win against Western Michigan, and it ends 18-4 over those damn dirty Gators. Legends forever, one and all. Heroes are remembered, legends never die, and this team will be immortalized now forever. But, boys, there's only one problem. I love Levels. I love Avicii. But this feels like Florida music. Get out of here. You wanna talk, you wanna run your mouth. Yeah! We are set this dog, set this dog. We are set this dog, set this. Let's get these mind right. Tennessee, get the hell out of here. Wake Forest, better luck next time. Kentucky, Georgia, Bama, I don't give a damn. Florida, out of here. You already know who it is. And it's the badass boys from the boot. Top to bottom, east to west. 504-318-337, we got you. Hell up out of here. Thought you were tight, Tennessee. Tony V. All your deep pitching staff. Wake Forest. Best team IRA in the nation, all that crap, so many hitters. Florida, Jack Caglione. What would they call him, Cagtani? Oh, what happened, Shohei? You didn't show up. Get the hell out of here. 33 home runs, but not one last night. 24-4. Well. You punched Superman in the face, and you found out what happened. Get out of here, Florida. The Tigers, once again, the national champions of the college baseball world. It just feels right. And it's been too long. It's been too long. Shout out, Boost. And then you got all the, built, or bought, not built. Yeah, go cry somewhere else. Built and bought, okay? And we're going to do it again, Tennessee. Chase Burns just entered the transfer portal. Get ready. He's ours now. Why? Because he wants to win a ring. What you cannot do. We already told you. You want to talk about being an everything school. This is what everything school looks like. Joe Burrow, Angel Reese, Dylan Cruz, point at the ring, light the cigar. Champions. Not sweet 16ians. Champions. So many legendary moments. Sorry. So many legendary moments to break down, dude. Welcome in. It's gonna be an all over the place show. It's not gonna be wholly unlike last Friday. Friday? Was it really Friday?
Yeah.
What kind of weird time warp is watching a team that you live and die with in Omaha? It has been an odd 10 days. Think about that, guys. 8 games. 8 games in 10 days. And think about all the ups and downs. I mean, I was trying to put just like a list together of stuff that just jumped out of my head. I mean, Skeens game 1 against Tennessee, incredible. Named College World Series most outstanding player, because of course he was. The Ackenhausen Wake Forest game, the Skeens Wake Forest duel, the Tommy Tanks home run against Wake Forest to walk it off, the Tommy Tanks home run to tie it up against Florida in the 8th. The Trey Morgan diving play at the plate to make up for the 3-2 loss where he got thrown out of the plate in a similarly incredible play. The Kate Beloso home run against Florida to give you a lead. Riley Cooper pitching 5 times and just finding a way to get it done every single time. Ty Floyd, 17 Ks. And then Jordan Thompson, back against the wall. The pressure of an entire state looming large on his shoulders, an entire career. Like we said, so much on the line. And who's the one that broke open the scoring last night? Who's the one that was perfect defensively? And it's funny about being perfect defensively, right? Because a lot of those plays came with him at second. And like everything else, okay, and this is the world. So it's not a critique. This is the reality situation. But everybody's got a damn opinion on Jay Johnson's decisions, right? Oh, are you going to start schemes against Tulane? The moment's too large for you. Okay. I can't believe that we delayed this game. It's not going to get played. It got played at 9. You beat Kentucky. Get the hell out of here, okay? Oh, I can't believe you're doing this defensive shift I've never seen before. Okay, well, look at what happened last night. Like, what are we talking about? What are you talking about? Cade Beloso batting back? Yeah, Cade Beloso batting leadoff. Because like we told you, it's thick boy season, okay? That's the ideal leadoff body that you saw last night in my guy, Cade Beloso. I mean, what more good can you say? And we're going to touch on all of this today. We'll relive last night's game, the performances. We live Omaha as a whole, relive Jay Johnson. We got audio to get to. Scott Woodward needs to be mentioned today, the maestro, the legend. Another guy, and it's funny because Woodward's almost like this LSU team in a way, in that it always amazes me when somebody has impossible to meet expectations, and then they not only meet them, but they exceed them. I mean, that was this LSU baseball team. It was literally before the year in which D1 baseball was having conversations like, do you take LSU or the field to win a national championship? And I want to be painfully clear about this. That is an unrealistic hypothetical. Like that should not actually be a legitimate question, because you play the odds and you just take the field, because there's hundreds in the field. Like, surely somebody's going to be better. And yet, this LSU team, they end up winning that conversation in the end. And it was not easy. It was not easy. There were so many times your back was against the wall. You had to come roaring out of the loser's bracket to beat the number 1 team in the country twice in a row in Wake Forest. And like we mentioned, Ackenhausen and everybody else doing it with legendary performances, starting his first game. So many times it would have been easy to give up, pack it up, go home, and it still would have been a good season. You made Omaha, you did all of these things, but this team had a deeper drive, and they were never satisfied, and they found a way to exceed those unrealistic expectations. And Woodward's kind of like that as well. I mean, he was always, like, for years, kind of whispered about, like, the potential savior. Like, this guy's going to come in, and he can really, like, hey, he's sharp, man. He's gonna be different. And you're like, in my head, I'm kind of like, okay, sure, but like, what can an athletic director actually do, right? I mean, you're steering just a massive warship, essentially. You're not very nimble. It's not like you can turn, like, it's not like you get too many decisions where it's like, okay, I made this choice and then this happened as an AD. You're kind of slowly but surely. And if you want to make a change, a lot of times it's a change where it's like, okay, you make that choice, you got to stick with it for years. So you make the wrong choice. That's the kind of slow move. You got to stick with it for years. What does he do? He hires 3 coaches. Second year natty for Coach Mulkey. Second year natty for Jay Johnson. Brian Kelly beat Alabama in year 1 and won the West, and now is the favorite to win the West in year number 2. I mean, it's just unreal. It's just unreal. A blessed age in which you live, Tiger fans, and recognize that. Do not take that for granted and bask in this today and celebrate it. Let it marinate and live in this feeling, because this is what it's all about. Everything you do, everything you sacrifice, even as a fan, all the money that you paid, well, the engagements that you skipped, social things, the sacrifices that a lot of you made to get up to Omaha, which is not easy. It's weird. It's crazy. There's nothing like it in sports where this tournament can go on for an indeterminable amount of time, and you basically got to put everything on your life on hold, but you do because your passion is such that you have to be there. The drive for you to be there is greater than your earthly concerns. And it's painful when you make that commitment and it doesn't work out. But all that pain, all that bitterness makes this all the sweeter. And I don't want to ever get too used to winning. I don't want to ever be filled with hubris or not react like a complete psychopath when your team wins a championship, because that, again, is what it's all about. It should never be the expectation. It's never a championship. It is. Do not take this for granted, essentially, is what I'm getting at. And I know many won't, because it's been a long time. It's been a long time. Now, in the 90s, 2000s, some of y'all probably were starting to take these baseball championships a little for granted. Hell, they're happening every couple of years. It's still fun. But yeah, it's kind of what we do. Then, you got the smoke era, which really maybe a little better than people thought in some ways. Pulmonary comes in. You win another one, 09. Oh, we're golden, boys. We're golden. Let's go. We're back. A little bit of a break, but we're back. 6 national seeds in a row, but that proves how hard it is. Like, it is amazing what Coach Maneri did. And make no mistake, he has a hand in this championship as well. Okay? You look at a lot of the Louisiana core on this team. That's Coach Maneri bringing them in originally. And even beyond the Louisiana core, somebody like Jordan Thompson, right? Dylan Cruz. So, it's one of those things where you started taking for granted in the 90s. You get that championship in 09. You get the 6 national seeds in a row under Maneri, but it just never happens, right? 13, you go 02. 17, you finally make it back. You make it all the way to the national championship. You battle through Oregon State. So much incredible effort. But in the end, you lose to the Florida Gators. And here you arrive last night, and you got, in game number 71, you got 27 outs to determine how will you be remembered. Will you give the Gators a second natty in a row over you? Will the Intimidators stay blank post-2009? Like we talked about it yesterday, will you be a hero? Will you be a legend? Will you be remembered, or will you never die? And this team chose the latter. Legendary stuff. From 24 to 4 to 18. I mean, you love it. You get hit in the mouth. Like we said, when we told you yesterday, 4-3, 24-4, same thing. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. And that was a team yesterday that was pissed off, was angry. And then how about Thatcher Heard, dude? It's going to get lost because all the offense was so overwhelming and he had a cushion to work with. But think back to that first inning, boys, right? Heard looking not the sharpest, gives up the 2-run home run. I think it might have been a man on first at that, and we're kind of like, oh, my God, dude. Like, if Heard can't, like, what's going on? They're starting to warm up. I think, like, Griffin Hare maybe started warming up. Like, oh, my God, dude. Are we, is it, because we, you know, we've, even though Thatcher's been way better, like, he's been dominant recently, and as Jay Johnson has told us on the show, the season as a whole, Heard's probably been better than we give him credit for. We have seen these, like, implosion sort of starts, right? So it had that feel. But you know what came and showed up at that moment? The mental toughness. The mental toughness that we're always talking about. And Thatcher Heard battles through that inning. LSU gets up to the plate, you know, after a disappointing first inning where I think Caglione, after plunking below, so ends up striking out. Didn't he strike out Cruz and Tanks? He definitely struck out Tanks, right? But it was not an ideal start. But then, when you needed him most, the bottom of the lineup, Jordan Thompson getting it done. Staring down 1 for 30 with 15 Ks in the CWS. Couple of errors yesterday. 5 unearned runs. Basically lost you the game. Everyone was talking crap about Jordan Thompson. You know that. Check your group text, boys. Everybody's group texts. Everyone. I got 3 separate group texts, and everyone was, okay? You know who wasn't? Jay Johnson and Jordan Thompson. And like we said yesterday, that man had to go to sleep last night, Jordan Thompson, 2 nights ago. The weight of the world on his shoulders, right? With so much to prove. It's very easy to get outside yourself, to push too far, to overextend and crumble. And yet Jordan Thompson stepped up and was at his best when it mattered most. Offensively, defensively, he was friggin' fantastic last night, as was this entire team. And we'll go all caps, bold, underline team. Because that's exactly what you have your superstars. You have your Golden Spikes when you had 2 Golden Spikes finalists. You got Paul Skeens, most outstanding player in College World Series, but it came from everywhere, top to bottom. Everybody had their moments this postseason. Even Gavin Guidry, right? He comes in against Tennessee, gives up the 2-home run, and then which game? And then he comes in, he closes out. I think maybe one of the Wake Forest games later. He had some big innings. The point is, everybody, and then he gets rewarded with getting to be on the bump for the final outs in the Natty as a freshman, as the number 1 player in Louisiana, which is pretty unreal in terms of memories that you will die with, right? So how I frame things a lot in my mind. I think, you know, I will die remembering this day. I don't remember a lot. My brain's funny. It's a mixture of athletic endeavors and recreational endeavors. But every now and then something sticks, right? If you're Gavin Guidry, that's one of those, I will remember this when I die. It's for all those guys, for all of those guys, and for me, because I will remember it. So it's going to be a celebratory OTB today. If you want to come hang out, youtube.com/1045 ESPN, you already know. Hit the like button, and we've gone long here. We're back with more OTB next.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
How about our boys? Get Gordon and get it done. Yesterday, we were like, oh, somebody's coming to Rocco's, Big Perch coming. We had seen a tease, said they loved the number 8. I'm an idiot. I was like, maybe it's Alex Bregman. No. It was Gordon McKernan buying 8,888 Jello shots. Why? Because you already know, if you need Gordon to fight for you, it's 225-888-8888. And you know, the same way that I had a good feeling when you saw Joe Burrow in there Saturday night in the press box, our guy Gordon flying Coach Mulkey on the PJ to Omaha. As soon as you saw Coach Mulkey, was like, okay, championship vibes. So look, winners understand winners, okay? Shout out Gordon McKernan. Shout out the G team. Many of the baseball players on the G team. Entire women's basketball champions on the G team. Go follow them on social media at Get Gordon. And again, you need someone to fight for you, 225-888-8888.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Bayou Ford has up to $7,000 off MSRP plus 0% financing on new 23 Ford F-150 XLT trucks and incredible deals on all remaining 2022 inventory. All with Bayou's 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Oh, hey, what's up? It's Big D and Bubba, 100.7 The Tiger Morning Show. We'd love for you to join us every weekday, 4 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Yeah, everything you want in a show. Country music. We got laughs. We got celebrity in-studio guests. We just need you.
Join us every weekday morning, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m., right where it all started.
That's right. Louisiana's country station, 100.7 The Tiger.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all of that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app.
It's Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Tuesday's AFR. We're recapping the National Championship game. Tigers and Gators. Who is victorious? We're talking about it Tuesday, 3 to 6. Join us, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
I've paid my dues, time after time. I've done my sentence, but committed no crime. And bad mistakes, I've made a few. I've had my shells and kicked in my face, but I've come through. I need to go on. We are the champions, my friends.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Ooh. Song that is only reserved for the right time. And obviously today is that time. Austin Schoonmaker.
Records that'll never be broken. Cruz's on-base record and Jello shots bought in Omaha. I agree. The Jello shot thing is out of control. And I do want to point this out because we haven't mentioned this. We talked a lot about like Rocco's profit margin because their $5 shot. It's all very and that is still, look, they are still making just stupid amounts of money off of this competition they've created. But you are talking about a couple dollars of every shot bought up there going to the local food bank. And I was reading this morning that food banks, at least a couple of years ago, $1 could be like 3 meals for people in need. So every Jello shot bought is, in theory, providing like 6 meals or something around those lines. So you're talking about just hundreds of thousands of meals being provided in those in need. So everybody's having a good time. Everybody wins with a situation like that. And yeah, you mentioned Cruz on base record, man. I mean, think about this. That man got on base every single game this season in a sport where it is so impossibly hard to be consistently successful. Like, that's literally the entire makeup of the sport. The entire point is that you can't be consistently successful. And yet he got on base every single game this season. We'll never see it again. I don't know if we're ever going to see anybody like Dylan Cruz again. Jay Johnson's called him, maybe the best baseball player he's ever coached. I don't know if we're ever going to see anything like Paul Skeens again. I mean, I don't know. Or if you do, it's like it's like when you had Nola. I think it's like a once in a decade thing, like Nola Bregman or something. Like every now and then, the stars align and you get these transcendent individuals. Now, I think what pushes this team across, so like we continue to talk about, is the team aspect. You have those transcendent individuals, but you also have, like we keep the meat and potatoes, the Louisiana guys, not just Louisiana guys, but the guys who maybe aren't the biggest names, the guys who have been in and out of life. Look at Josh Pearson. I mean, there's a Louisiana guy, West Monroe. Look at Josh Pearson, somebody who played a lot last year, kind of fell off this year, was not playing for much of the season. Get together late, start to do, the average did not ever look nice, but it was so bad at the beginning that he started to, he played really great late, but you couldn't really tell because the numbers were so dragged down from the beginning of the season. But he is someone who never gave up, found a way, gets back in that lineup, and last night he's rewarded with a wonderful, the Pearson home run kind of felt like one of okay, this is actually over now last night. But, I mean, you look at a guy like Alex Milazzo. Think about Milazzo and Travinski. Lose their starting job to a freshman. That's tough, man. Especially in this day and age. It's pack it up, go home. That's enter the transfer portal time for a lot of guys. If you don't have a good culture, if you don't have a strong organization that is middle finger to the team, I'm out. Not those guys. Not Milazzo and Travinski. They kept working. And then Milazzo comes on, he's the guy, but then all of a sudden Travinski comes, and it wasn't like Milazzo was playing poorly. Defensively, he's incredible. He was hitting the ball better than ever in his career. But then Travinski comes up and he's like, I'm just going to hit a home run every 80 at-bats. And he catches a little injury. Milazzo's back. So the point is, and the tinkering from Jay Johnson, even down to Cade Beloso, the professional hitter. Cade Beloso batting leadoff. Boys, think about how blessed we are. Truly, truly blessed. We got to witness a Cade Beloso tag from third. The thickest tag you've ever seen in your entire life. Blinding speed. That much mass moving at that speed creates a vortex behind it, a wake. And look at Cade Beloso there if you're watching on youtube.com/1045 ESPN, kissing the trophy. That is a well-earned smooch. I mean, he might have been your most consistent hitter by the end. Look at Trey Morgan. As a freshman, was your most consistent guy, was great, yada, yada. This season, last year, dealing with injuries. This season, never bad, right? Always pretty good, but also kind of lost in the shuffle. Lost in the shuffle a little bit. Yeah, you saw the defense and everything, but not really talking about. He became one of your most consistent bats in Omaha. And now we keep talking about that play, that incredible play, charging the bunt against Wake Forest, get into Milazzo, the awesome tag by Milazzo to catch Wake Forest in midair. That play, we said, that play's either very fun to talk about, but then kind of forgotten over time, or it now lives forever. It is there with Jeter flipping the ball against the A's. That's how it works, because it results in a championship. Think about Jay Johnson. Every decision Jay Johnson made, every button he pressed, perfection. In a world, and a sport especially, full of endless variables. I mean, boys, that's what's crazy about baseball. And football and basketball, you can, a lot of times, just overwhelm your opponent with pure talent, right? Like, Stony Brook is never beating LSU in a super regional in football, right? It's a literal impossibility. It cannot happen. And yet, in baseball, we witnessed it firsthand. You see Oral Roberts going on the run. Like, in baseball, anything can happen. So a world full of variables, a sport full of variance, and yet, Jay Johnson, like some sort of master mathematician, reading, all the equations, figuring out exactly, playing the odds, having to manage the randomness, because you can never. I think about it a lot when think about card games, right? You think about card games. I don't know if you ever played, could be poker, could be Magic, anything like that. A lot of these games have elements of randomness built into them. Now, you don't want to be completely random, right? At that point, then you're like, what am I doing this for? It's just luck, right? But a well-designed game has a bit of randomness around the edges to make things a little weird, a little unpredictable, a little exciting. How you manage that randomness determines how you do over time. But the thing is, normally in there, you're still going to get bad luck. You're still going to get bad beats. Somehow, Jay Johnson didn't. Or at least not when it mattered most. I mean, I keep thinking back to what he told the team after the Wake Forest loss. He wrote on the board, he said, look, guys, that's the pitching plan, okay? That right there. And it showed how they were going to get through Tennessee. It showed how they were going to get through Wake game 1, Wake game 2, and then even through a Monday third game at the CWS. He wrote it on the board, and it came true. That should be impossible in Omaha. That should be impossible in the sport of baseball. That man is unbelievable. And like we said yesterday, he's like Luthen from Andor. He's fully committed. This is everything to him. He needs a championship more than he needs to breathe. Well, Jay, you can breathe because you got that championship. Think about him putting together this team. Last offseason, Jay Johnson's visiting Paul Skeens in Colorado Springs, Colorado, right as the World Series begins. From there, he goes to California to go visit Thatcher Heard. From there, he goes and just scoops up Christian Little, which, again, this is where some of the variance and randomness comes into play, right? You thought that was for sure going to work out, but good. By the end, he wasn't, and that's okay. But the point is you amass, you try to, like you said, manage it, protect yourself against the variables just by getting more and more players. After stopping by at Vanderbilt for Christian Little, he then goes to Tampa and gets Tommy Tanks. Tommy White back from NC State. I mean, think about that trip. And there's more coming. I mean, they've been getting, that's the craziest part. The entire time that he's been somehow leading this team to a championship, he's also, he's been recruiting. He's been winning the transfer portal. And I don't know this for sure, but Chase Burns just entered the transfer portal from Tennessee today. We're going to see. We're going to see where he ends up. Chuck Nelson says, Thatcher Heard's performance last night of giving up the 2-run home run cannot be overlooked. I agree. I mean, because we got to remember how we felt at that time. There was very much, it's easy to lose perspective on that, right? A lot of times in life, and you deal with this a lot if you read history, right? You can fall into the trap of, because it happened, being like, oh, this was always going to happen. Alexander was always going to conquer the known world, essentially, right? Augustus Caesar was always going to become. No. None of these things are guaranteed. And LSU was not always going to win 18-4. There was a time there where in the top of the first, like we said, your top of the order looked pretty hapless against Caglione. You come up, their best hitter, the guy who's going to be the third pick of the draft, knocks a 2-run home run. You're immediately on the heels of a 24-4 game. It would have been so easy to say, here we go again. Thatcher Heard battled, fought, got out the inning. He set up the boys. The offense had his back, and then all of a sudden they put up a 6 spot, and he's got a little cushion. And this is an offense that we said yesterday had been silent for all of Omaha. 4 runs a game, 200 batting average, 7,322 stranded runners. And last night, that offense proved why, on the whole, for the entirety of the year, they have been the best offense in the country. And they come through 18-4. Music at T-Bone Lost Voice. Yes, I haven't had my voice since they got back on Friday. It's completely gone. I don't expect it to come back anytime soon. We'll see. Eric Ingram said Hers had good stuff. Thought he's a better reliever. I mean, look, now it feels like Thatcher Heard's going to be your starter next year. I don't know if the Friday night guy will see that battle play out, but he is now back to what you thought he was going to be. And God, I got to go to break, but I could keep talking about this team forever because he is representative of what so many on this team went through. These mid-season tests where they were down and counted out, and instead of giving up, they continued to chip, fire, work, and they found a way to recover and to fulfill their potential. I mean, that clip of Jay Johnson preseason talking about, for us to be our best team, I envisioned Thatcher Heard, having to be a big part of this and basically needing to be a starter. That clip, that's what I'm talking about, guys. That is, it should be impossible to tell the future like that. And yet he has that preseason comment, which we'll find and we'll play for you, where he's basically saying we need Thatcher Heard to be this guy if we want to be our best version of it. If we want that championship team. And who starts and dominates in game 3 of the Natty after looking like he couldn't do that? We did not believe in him at all mid-season. Thatcher Heard. Unreal. All right, look, let's just keep celebrating. Get in the chat. It's going to be a fun morning. Continuing here on OTB.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge, All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com. Oh, they had 18 runs and 18 left on base last night. Hey, look, you get on base a lot. That's what's going to happen, boys. You know what I'm saying? All-Star Toyota doesn't leave anything on base because they're always sending you home with exactly what you need. I don't care if you want a minivan, big truck, little truck, Tundra, Tacoma, up to you. Doesn't matter. Maybe you end up in a sedan, a Toyota Camry, which I never thought I ever would have gotten, and yet I went in with a number, and they found me my answers, man. Find your answers at All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge. Custom order right from the website. Service department, the absolute best. You can actually rent as well if you're going on any summer vacations. Cheaper per-day rental prices than traditional rental companies. Hit up Miss Lee's Sessions. But just recognize they got the best people, the best selection. Right there off of Airline Highway, right here in Baton Rouge. All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $25,000 off new 22 Ram 1500 SCA trucks and incredible deals on all remaining 2022 inventory. All with Bayou's 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Hello, Samantha, dear, I hope you're feeling fine. And it won't be long until I'm with you all the time. But until then, I spend my money up right down on my last dime. Come on, in Baton Rouge. I'm ready, what you put me on through. Gotta send my love down.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust poll of the day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, live at lunch on Palmer, and after further review.
Join me, Jimmy Ott, for the Tuesday edition of Live at Lunch, live from Doe's Eat Place on Government Street in the heart of Mid-City. It's Live at Lunch, Tuesday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
It's the world's greatest. I am a mountain, I am a tall tree, oh, I am a swift wind, sweeping the country. I am a river, down in the valley, oh, I am a vision, and I can see clearly. If anybody asks you who I am, just stand up tall, look them in the face and say, I'm that star up in the sky, I'm that mountain peak up high, hey, I made it, I'm the world's greatest.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
So there's a lot of talk going on in the chat right now about, like, is this, where does this rank among these 7 now LSU baseball national championships? Let's be clear, a fundamentally privileged conversation. Make sure you don't lose perspective on that. You could sit here and be like, which of my 7 championships do I like the most? But a lot of people saying, this one in 97, obviously 97 into walk-off fashion, one of the reasons why. And I can't speak to 90s championships a lot, right? What I can speak to is the reason why I would say that this one does mean more. And I would, look, I'm not going to go to the mat for this. I'm biased, right? I've been very upfront about this. I've fallen in love with this team. I've been falling in love with college baseball more and more over the past 3, 4, 5 years. And this is kind of the culmination of that, right? This is the team that I've most watched, most lived and died with. And so, of course, I'm biased in this conversation. But I think there's a few salient points to make about maybe why this one does feel so good. I think first, in the 90s, that it was incredible, but as we said, you were kind of used to it, right? Feel like an Alabama fan, kind of winning natties every other year, feeling it had just become not will we win again, but kind of when we win again. Beyond that, in the 90s, I don't think college baseball as a sport was at where it is today, and that's not to take anything away. I just mean that I think that's I think most would agree. Like I'm not saying anything crazy there. If you look at there's a time when still most people were going to the pros rather than coming to college. There wasn't as much investment, but there was here at LSU. And Skip Bertman, he built this incredible bubble environment, and he showed what college baseball could be. But you were so ahead of the curve that, okay, it gave you these great and very distinct advantages. Well, then you move into the modern era, and all of a sudden, these other SEC teams are like, oh, wait, we like baseball. We care about baseball. We can go to baseball. We too are going to start to commit and invest and blah, blah, blah. And then over time, especially kind of post-2010 on, right, you got passed up. I mean, we've been McDonald on here all the time, and we talked about it all the time. And during the last couple of Monero years, one thing that Ben constantly brought up was the SEC record. There was like a 4 or 5 year stretch there where you were a 500 SEC team. Arkansas, better than you. Florida, better than you. Vanderbilt, better than you. South Carolina winning a couple natties in there. Like you basically showed the path, but then others ran past you. And so now to go through all that and be able to climb once again past them, to find a way to fight back and climb past Mississippi State, Ole Miss, teams that have just won, like, we're all better than you. And so that's why this one feels sweeter. Because like we always, you have to go through the lows to appreciate the highs. The man who lives in the dark appreciates the light the most, right? Is the most astounded by it, feels it the most, deeply, intrinsically, and that's why you feel this one more. It's not just time, but that is a big element. 14 years is a long time. Cannot be ignored, but it's also the struggle within the decade and a half, where you were a waning empire. Nobody ever wants to be in a civilization when it starts to decline, right? You don't want to be in Britain when the Romans pull out and you're into the Dark Ages or whatever. Like it's just a bad time. And that's what you went through, essentially. At least by LSU standards. And now you emerge on the other side, and all of a sudden you're national champion. And it's funny because in a lot of ways, same way you were ahead of the curve in the 90s, it feels like you're ahead of the curve once again, only this time it's an NIL. And Jay Johnson understands it. And you have a man who is so fully committed to the point of being like sociopathic almost. And now he's rewarded with his life school. I mean, think about Jay Johnson. Made it to the Omaha Finals for Arizona, won game one, lost the next two. He was staring that fate in the face once again yesterday. And as we keep talking about, like Arya Stark and Cyril Farrell, he said, not today, death. I want a ring. And he got it done. All right, let's close out hour number one of OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Turn my music high, 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 yeah. You don't know what you're doing. Sure I do. I'm from the streets where the hood can swallow on me. Bullets will follow on me. There's so much that you could run the slalom. And cops comb this top to bottom. They say that we are prone to violence, but it's home sweet home. With personalities clashing, chrome meets chrome. Prices up and down like it's Wall Street.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all of that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
You will join us in celebrating our great state and elevating Louisiana's position in America. Together, we can be Louisiana Lawyer. Learn more at lwcc.com/Louisiana Lawyer.
Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. 5 brands on one lot. Shop BayouAutomotive.com.
After further review with Matt Moscona, weekday afternoons from 3 to 6 on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Tuesday's AFR. We're recapping the National Championship game. Tigers and Gators. Who is victorious? We're talking about it Tuesday, 3 to 6. Join us, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
My mama call, see you on TV, sunset done changed. Ever since we was on, I dreamed it all. Ever since I was young, they said I won't be nothing. Now they always say congratulations.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Nah. Shout out KGnomics. Ace Jordan in the chat says, that's because we were talking about last, kind of how LSU took these steps back and has now refound themselves. Ace Jordan said, that's because Paul got lazy in his recruiting during the end of his time as coach. Well, I don't know if that's the right take here on it, guys, because Taylor did a little research earlier. Taylor, read us the 2020 class, and as you hear this, just recognize how much of a role this class played in this championship.
That's what I was telling you. I was driving home last night. I was like, that's something like people aren't mentioning, like how much of a staple it was. So I looked up the 2020 class. You got Dylan Cruz, Ty Floyd, Jordan Thompson, Blake Money, Trey Morgan, Garrett Edwards, Will Helmers, Javen Coleman. I mean, it's filled with guys that have consistently contributed for LSU. I mean, these are core guys.
Yeah.
And Garrett Edwards was one of your best bullpen guys before his injury.
Yeah, would have been.
I mean,
Exactly,
all of these guys, major contributors, and that was Paul's last recruiting class.
So no, I don't think that was a problem. I think, I think time is a thing that just comes for us all, and I think it's just impossible to keep up the expectations at a place like LSU. Like, maybe because Paul did, remember, 6 national seeds in a row. Like, he was there for a long time, but it Father Time's undefeated, and now I do think, though, that Jay Johnson, we're gonna see, because this does not feel like this is going to be the last one for that man. He feels like someone whose entire life has been leading to this moment, but this is just the next moment, right? Like, I have the same way that I have no concerns, or had no concerns about Coach Mulkey, being satisfied or something by winning a championship. Like, I don't think Jay Johnson is. I think I hope to hell that he can manage to turn it off long enough to enjoy today and tomorrow and the next few months. But you already know he's probably talking to Chase Burns today. They're probably planning with, you already know he's already out there recruiting again today whenever he wakes up. But I hope you enjoy it, Coach, because this is well earned. I hope all these players I hope all the players' families enjoy it, man. I can't fathom what it's like to watch a child take home a national championship after knowing all the blood, sweat, tears, sacrifice, the years and hours put into leading to this moment, and then you came through when it mattered most. Chuck says Jay Johnson has that kind of Nick Saban feel to him. He does a little bit. We'll see. Ricky Nelson saying Jordan Thompson was in that 2020 class. Is that?
Yeah, I named him.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. This is unreal. Look, get your comments in there. We're continuing to celebrate. We got some sound to get to. We got Kendall Rogers coming up at 9:30. Jake is going to join us at some time as well. Keep it locked right here on OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to Pace Plus Urgent Care, PacePlusUC.com, PacePlusUC.com, where you will see the difference. And the difference jumps out at you immediately when you see the building, because you've never seen an urgent care this nice. And the reason why I'm constantly bringing this up is because it's representative of the investment, like the investment in the facilities, the investment in the employees. You are the one that reaps the benefit. So shout out Patient Plus Urgent Care, because you're going to be blown away. You're going to get in. You're going to get better for life's unexpected little moments. Remember, if you're a business, you need your occupational medicine needs met, go check out the Mid-City location, but there's nowhere better. And yeah, I've been to some of those places before. They're not always great, kind of dingy offices, not well lit. Drug tests feel a little slimy. Not the case at Page Plus. Everything top notch. So whether you're just a walk-in or, like I said, a business, you need whatever your OCMED needs are. It's all there for you. Page Plus Urgent Care, PagePlusUC.com.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all of that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Good morning, everybody. It is 8 a.m. on Tuesday, June 27th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect sunny skies with a high of 99. Coming up on OTB, LSU baseball has won the national championship, and we break it all down throughout the show. You can follow today's show on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at OTB_ESPN, or catch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel and subscribe for daily content. Hour number 2 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
Let we go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, P, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
Welcome back, OTB, hour number 2, y'all. Authority Song says, wait, who said this? Oh yeah, when is the Intimidator get the new paint? I want to look up a couple things, boys. I believe I've heard that the parade is going to be Wednesday, so maybe around then, I don't know. And then I believe I heard the team may be arriving at the box at like 1:30 today. That's what Brian Bird said in the chat earlier. Let's see if we can get some confirmation. We'll go to the LSU baseball Twitter and see what's up there. Avenging the 2017 College World Series Finals, a loss to the Gators, just a chef kiss. I agree. Noogie says single-handedly sending Tennessee, Wake Forest, and Florida home was also quite sweet. Yeah, I mean, it was a legendary run. Let's be clear. Nothing was easy. Not the opponent and not the path. That Wake Forest, like, I was talking to somebody yesterday, and they were kind of poo-pooing the Wake Forest team. Like, oh, they're not that good. And I'm like, wait, what? Like, you lost to them 3-2. You barely beat them 2-0, and then you had another third battle with them in which you barely emerged. Like, that was the best team you played all year, full stop. It wasn't Florida, okay? It wasn't Florida. Look what happened yesterday. You win that series. It wasn't Tennessee. You beat them 4 out of 5 times this year. Very good teams both, like full of MLB talent top to bottom. But like to beat those 3 teams, and look, there's all the it's also revenge on Tennessee for sending you home in supers a couple of years ago, for kind of talking all this trash the last couple of years. And then even just think about the path from the beginning where you felt good entering Omaha. I'm talking about now. Once you make it, you felt good about Tennessee game 1 because you had Paul Skeen, so I'd feel good about going against Satan himself in game 1. Like, I wouldn't give a damn because you have your own Baba Yaga on the mound there. But what we said at the time was like, but what you fear is a potential rematch for Tennessee down the road because they will have the pitching advantage. Then you lose that epic 3-2 Wake Forest game, and it's such a morale blow. It's such a gut punch. You feel like you just want to throw up. And then you realize, oh, wait, now you have to go against Tennessee. They have a massive pitching advantage. And if they win, it won't matter that you beat them 3 times to their 2 because you lost when it mattered. And I obviously have gone through that. It doesn't matter. The team I was a part of beat Alabama 9-6 in Alabama because you got your ass kicked 21-0 when it actually mattered. Yeah, the series tied 1-1 on the year. It doesn't matter. They win. If you lose to Tennessee in that rematch, you lose. Okay, like literally, but also metaphoric. It's not a metaphor, but you get what I'm saying. Literally, but also in like the in the bragging rights competition. Doesn't matter that you can't come back with the lame like, well, we actually beat you 3 out of 5 this year. No, it doesn't matter. And we say it's hard to beat a good team twice. It's even harder to beat a good team thrice. How hard is it to beat a great team 4 out of 5 times? That's what you did to the Tennessee Volunteers. And all that incredible MLB talent, all that incredible pitching staff, which some may be coming down here, we'll see. And then again, you run into Wake Forest. And again, your back to the wall. Again, their pitching staff is deeper. Again, they have the best stats in the country. They're the only other team that's been ranked number 1. Think about that. The only other team the entire season that was ranked number 1 in the country was Wake Forest team. And you two went toe-to-toe for 3 games. It took to decide that thing, who's the real number 1. And you got it done. And then who's waiting for her on the other side? A perfectly rested SEC champion Florida Gators. You may have the 1st and 2nd overall pick in the MLB. They have the 3rd, and he might be in the 1st, 2nd. We'll see. They have the college Shohei Ohtani, a guy who starts day 3 for them all year long and is pretty damn good, throws out nearly 100. And what did he do at the plate? He set a record for home runs in a season with 33 of them things. And again, they're rested. They didn't have to go to Tennessee and Wake Forest. They went to Oral Roberts and TCU. Good teams. Everybody's good in Omaha, okay? But there are different levels of good. And your path was infinitely harder. And they have all 3 of their starters. You don't even have Paul. Like, what? What? Boys, think about that. So much on the line. Revenge, championships, lifetimes of work. You don't even have Paul Skeens. Baba Yaga. The man that got you there. The man that gave you the most unrealistic belief that I've ever seen out of a player where it didn't matter if Skeens on the mound. You just knew you were winning. You don't have Joe Burrow for the championship. Like, think about that. That is insanity. And they're full strength, and they're rested, and they haven't been tested. 8 games in 10 days for this LSU Tiger baseball game. 8 games in 10 days for this team. I just keep going back to that word, toughness. It's exactly what this team showed, top to bottom, everybody. Toughness. Alex Milazzo, find a way to get home, leaping over the throw. Maybe he snapped his ankle. I'm not entirely sure, hitting home plate, but he's tough. And his team had his back. And then you have the incredible imagery last night of Skeens carrying Alex Milazzo the same way that he carried this LSU baseball team for much of the year, literally carrying Alex Milazzo out to the dog pile. And yeah, he might have a broken fibula or something, but you know what? A tough son of gun is still going to get on that dog pile. It's actually a very funny video because Skeens drops him off. He hops on, and Milazzo's kind of like hopping on one leg around the edge, finding it, and then he finds his way on the dog pile as well. 8 games in 10 days. Tennessee, Wake Forest, Florida. The best teams in college baseball. Nothing easy. Everything earned. That's this LSU baseball team. And my God, was it fun to watch. I mean, what a journey, dude. Think about it. The last 10 days feel like it's been like 2 months. I mean, every single night, your nuts in your throat as you're watching, your stomach in knots. I don't know about y'all, but after it became 8-3 on Sunday, I basically had butterflies in my stomach from then on. Again, like we said, not fear, but anxiety. anticipation. What is going to happen? The unknown laid ahead. But it was fun, man. It was fun every step of the way. I mean, the memories that were made, I think we're all going to remember forever. But again, I don't know if you do if you don't win that championship, man. But like, I'll never forget traveling all day with a family vacation, multiple flights, 3 kids, multiple multi-hour drives. We finally get there just in time for our first pitch, throw a scotch on, throw my Trav shirt on, watch him beat Tennessee's ass. Incredible memory. Then I remember drinking all the family scotch for the entire vacation during that Wake Forest loss, and it was rough. And I felt bad. I was down bad. I was texting the group down bad. I was trying to put on a brave public face, but I feared losing to Tennessee and the comeuppance that was coming from it, but this team had different plans. But yeah, man, watching with friends, watching with family, watching in the airport with strangers, on the airplane even, watching this unbelievable pitcher's duel. Like, everybody's going to remember where you were for these moments. And then culminating last night being with the partners over there at Don Juan's, which I love watching games at Don Juan's, man. I cannot explain that environment enough. It is the absolute best. Black, white, yellow, brown, all backgrounds, all cultures, everybody welcome, everybody uniting under a common goal. Would you see the Tigers win a championship? And that's where, man, that's where sports, to me, that's a lot of the beauty of it is, on top of just they're tight because they're fun competitions and, like, I enjoy the games and they're measures of great athletic skill, and as human beings, we've always loved that. I'm reading some Greek stuff right now, and so they were always into, like, athletic spectacle and the gymnasium and everything else. So we've always liked that, but to me, it's the community aspect that has always been the coolest. When you play sports, you meet and form unbreakable bonds with guys that you would have never met otherwise. Because maybe they wouldn't live in your neighborhood, maybe they wouldn't live in your gated community, whatever it is. Like, you would never run across each other, and now you're friends for life. And it's the same thing watching sports. That stranger who you've never talked to before, by the end of the night, y'all are hugging, backslapping, spraying champagne over each other, dancing, and everybody's happy. Like last night, this entire city, this entire state, everybody from this state, all the alumni chapters watching in Houston and California. We always got people being like, "Oh, I'm watching from Alaska right now. I'm watching from, I'm in India right now," like wherever. This LSU team gave everybody that feeling of community, that feeling of love, that feeling of happiness and celebration. And it'll last. And now we enter the summer as champs, boys. What a year for LSU athletics. Beat Alabama, makes it 2-2. Fast forward them. Curse broken. Get out of here, Bama. Not scared anymore. It's over. Crumbling empire. Win the West. Kim Mulkey, promises made, promises delivered. National championship year 2. And then Jay Johnson, promises made, promises delivered. National championship year 2. The only thing about it is, I don't know that I'm ever actually going to be able to get my blood up for an SEC tournament again. Because Coach Mulkey sat there and told us, I don't really give a damn about the tournament. Jay Johnson basically told us, I don't really give too much a damn about the tournament. And look at what happened. It didn't matter. National champs. All right, look, let's do this. Let's go to break. And then when we get back, I'm going to get sound eventually. But when we get back, we're going to check in with the new father of 5. That's right. We got our own Jacob Hester, who, I don't know, maybe if you haven't been paying attention to the show the past couple of weeks, like, wait, where's Jake? So he's had a new baby. 5th baby, little baby girl. Mom's feeling great. Baby Harlow's doing great. But, I'm going to have the baby. That's busy times. He's going to be joining us next here on OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger. In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Bayou Ford has up to $7,000 off MSRP plus 0% financing on new 23 Ford F-150 XLT trucks and incredible deals on all remaining 2022 inventory. All with Bayou's 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street. The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all of that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Fabrication shops support their specialty welding and turnaround work. Pipe and Steel Industrial is truly a one-stop shop. Kylie Sparks, Leon Batto, and his team take pride in serving Louisiana from their world-class facility and invite anyone to take a tour at pipeandsteelindustrial.com.
After further review with Matt Moscona, weekday afternoons from 3 to 6 on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. 5 brands on one lot. Shop BayouAutomotive.com.
Join me, Jimmy, out for the Tuesday edition of Live at Lunch, live from Doe's Eat Place on Government Street in the heart of Mid-City. It's Live at Lunch, Tuesday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
The Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Oh, look at it! Look at
at it, guys. YouTube, if you're on YouTube right now, you already know. If you're on the radio, you about to hear we thought we were calling him, but then he comes bursting in the door, surprising all of us during the commercial break, bottle of champagne in hand. Let's effing go, boys. Jake Hester, here in studio.
Boy.
Jake,
oh, boy, let's go. I had FOMO. I couldn't stand it.
Dude. You can't
I could not stand it. Daddy got a hall pass.
Yeah.
He took the night shift, and we are here. What an epic run. T-Bob holding it down. I don't know that I've been this excited for a natty. Maybe ever. Maybe ever.
I mean, it's okay. So we kind of talked on that a little bit, but why for you? Like, why do you feel that way?
Because they were down and out 2 different times.
Yep.
Everyone said it's over.
Oh, God.
You're
get me
done.
Fired up, dude.
You beat the team in Wake Forest that if you would not have beaten, everybody would have had question marks.
Toughness.
But you beat the number 1 team.
Yep.
You find a way.
Yep.
And then you get to end it by beating the Florida Gators. They thought they had it. They were like, oh, the first game was close. We put up more points than Billy Napier's going to put up all year in the second game.
Okay.
We've got it. But you don't.
It ain't aggregate, Jake.
It's not. This isn't soccer.
This ain't football.
We're the alpha, not you. We're grown. You're just starting to walk.
It's like we said, dude, we are the demon. Like that's what we started because I feel like when you love a team, like Taylor loves the Cowboys, so he hates the Cowboys, right? When you love a team, you recognize like the weaknesses loom larger to you. Like we were the bad guys. We've been the bad guys all year long. We were the demons, and we proved it once again.
And we now, not that we weren't already, we're the Swamp King.
Yep.
You don't own the swamp.
Yep.
I don't want to hear that.
Let's go.
Right? We're the Swamp Kings. We're the ruler of the swamp land. You now live at golf courses in man-made ponds. That's what you are. Okay? We own the swamp. We own it all.
You merely adopted the swamp. We were born in it, molded by it. These damn gators. Oh my God, dude. Yeah, Jake coming in clutch like below. So I mean, literally, yes. We were like Mario's like getting ready to call him. We're just kind of chill. I was kind of flagging a little bit energy. I mean, I'm trying, y'all. I'm working.
What kind of night did you have?
I mean, bro, Don Juan was crazy. I think I got home at like midnight. I was buzzing, like, buzzing, but also like emotionally buzzing. I was like, popping bottles. I was doing that thing where, you know how like when you're so happy about something, you just can't stop. You just can't stop watching. So I was just sitting there, even though I'm like, I know I got to go to bed. I got to wake up in like 2 hours, and I'm just scrolling social media.
Oh, I couldn't put it down.
I'm just doom scrolling, just looking at all the videos, looking at all the celebrations, reading all the articles. Like today is one of the days where you want all the content on the internet. You just want to read it all because it's all just sucking you off. And it's excellent.
Everything about the way that it happened, right?
Because little hair of the dog right here, Bo.
Yeah, I figured you'd take some. It's fine. I wanted you to enjoy this.
Yeah.
Right? I looked in the fridge. I said, do I grab a couple cold Coors Lights? I said, no, we're celebrating.
Yeah. Champagne.
We're grabbing
champagne for
the bubbly.
championships.
That's exactly right.
Champions.
Oh, man. I mean, you blew them out. They can't even try to come back. Not that I would have gave a you-know-what, but you can't come back, oh, yeah, but we scored so many runs in the second game. No.
Exactly.
You got your ass whipped in the third game. I mean, just everything about this team, and we could. I know you've already done it. Just pointing out individuals in their performance and not getting down and picking each other up and finding a way, and it makes it that much sweeter. The fact that you didn't have to use Paul Skeens to beat Florida,
bro. That's we touched on it a little bit ago. Like you didn't have Joe Burrow. Like your path was so tough. 8 games in 10 days. That I know he didn't get hurt, but it's not unlike suddenly like Joe Burrow's just hurt. Oh, and here's a championship series you got to play against the second best team in the entire country, or third best. I would say Wake and LSU were still the best too. You didn't even have to use Skeens, and you know Skeens wanted it. Reports are that he was basically begging Jay Johnson to put him out there, but Jay's like, nah, fam, we can't. I mean, I can't. Like you got bigger things.
Yeah,
you got bigger things coming up. We can't do that. How about Gavin Guidry? True freshman, number 1 player in Louisiana. And not that, like, he's had huge moments. Last night was just probably the most chill he's ever felt in the mound because it's like he can just go out there and, like, just throw strikes and the outs will come. But you're a freshman from Louisiana, number 1 player, and your freshman year, you get to be on the mound for the end, and you get the K. It's unreal, man.
Yeah, you'll have the picture, you'll have the moment, you'll have the video when it ended. And you know how, and this happens no matter what, no matter what sport. And then you started to have people turn on LSU and say, oh, this team was bummed, it wasn't built. It's like, do you even watch? Do you even pay attention? Do you see who's doing the damage for LSU? Yeah. It's guys that have been here since T-Bob and I were playing football here. And Dugas and Beloso and all these people.
Well, I mean, Taylor went through the 2020 class. Jordan Thompson, Trey Morgan, Dylan Cruz. Like, the 2020 class that Paul Maneri put together was a lot of the core of this team. And guess what? You know what else, though? Hey, good, poor boys. I want to buy them. I want all your players. I want Chase Burns from Tennessee. I want to buy them all, because if there's one thing, and let's be clear, Jay Johnson will not make the mistake of going too much in that direction. He's talked about it where he's like, no, I analyzed championship rosters the last few years, and you need that mixture, right? You need veteran leadership, like you said. You need super talented freshmen. You need core hometown guys, but then you also need your kind of mercenary superstars. And because he understands that it can't all be one of those buckets, you need to draw from all those buckets. Like, the roster management from Jay Johnson is perfect, and it's going to continue to be so.
Yeah, and look, are you going to lose a lot of people? Yeah, you absolutely are. You're going to lose Cruz and Morgan and Skeens, and we could go on and on and on. Jordan Thompson's going to get drafted. You're going to lose a lot, but that's why that man's on national TV in the middle of a game, grabs a headset and says, if you're in the transfer portal, look at what we have. If you want to transfer, right, look at Omaha. LSU takes Omaha. I mean, everything in the LSU baseball program right now, how would you not want to be a part of that if you are not happy where you're at, and if you want to look for something bigger and better?
Yeah.
And if you have the bullets, use them all, and LSU has them all.
And, I mean, and if you want to make money, I mean, it's like, bro, who doesn't want to make money? Like, okay, like.
I like money.
And
I have some. I like more.
That is like the most fundamental human truth. I've never heard that before. I have some, I like more. That's probably like that is literally what every human being in the world thinks. But let's be clear, it's not like these other SEC schools. Okay, I know I can be a bit flippant with like leaning into the I want to buy the players thing, but also like all these SEC schools are paying. Texas is going to start paying big time. Like everybody's paying. Okay, so the reason why I bring that up is because I really don't want to discount that it's actually Jay Johnson getting it done here. NIL is nice, and which some guys going to help more than others, but like Skeens going to take any NIL money, right? What Jay Johnson does, Jake, and you know this, it's his plan, because he meets with these players, and because he's a complete psychopath that has studied, hundreds of hours of film, he gets with them, Jake, and he says, look, here's how we're going to make you the best you can be. And if you're a player, the most fundamental thing that you want from your coach, the day one baseline thing is, if I trust you and do what you say, is it going to put me in the best possible, even when it sounds weird or I don't agree, is it going to put me in the best possible position to succeed? And it's exactly what Jay Johnson does. That's how he sells these guys. It's not just money's nice, money will come. But it's like we told those recruits the other day, you got to ball first.
Yeah.
You don't get paid. You don't get laid unless you get it out there, unless you do it out there on the field first. Okay, so the development, that comes first, and then the money will come nowadays.
That's a great point, because there's going to be coaches we see in college football that are not going to be the best coach, but they're going to be really good in the portal. They're going to find a way, and that's how they're going to build their roster. But what can you do once you get the players to campus? Can you develop them? A lot of times, if you're the best in the portal, you can't do that. You can do it some, you can't do it at an elite level. Jay Johnson does both at an elite level. That's going to be the difference, right? He is a grinder. He is not going to be outworked. I mean, you heard his dad talking about it in the championship celebration.
Wait, I didn't see that. What is that?
His dad was just talking about the kind of worker and grinder. He's like, he's been wanting to be a baseball coach since he was 4 years old. Like, not even like a player. Wanted to be a coach.
A college one.
Yes, and a college one, not an MLB coach.
Part, dude. Like, it's... He's just and I mean, look, it's so good to have you here, by the way, bro. Hell yeah, dude. Oops, I almost dropped an F-bomb there. Very happy to have you here. But
shout out to the missus for
shout out Katie, shout out Mama, thank you very much. And boys, help out your mom. Come on, guys. Okay,
it's wake summer. Up,
wake your ass up.
Not there, wake up.
Okay, wake your ass up. Help take care of baby Harlow. Come on, you're old enough now. But Oh crap! I think I forgot what we were.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. We're celebrating. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Oh no! Like we so like you just had your 5th kid. What's crazy about Jay? He is so all in. You know, he has his wonderful wife, and you know it's. I only bring this up because it's rare. You rarely see a very successful college coach that is chosen maybe not to have children for whatever reason and it's just all I'm saying is just representative of how all in he's been on this mission. He has sacrificed everything, countless hours, countless social engagements, countless easy paths, easy nights that he could have had where he just sat at home and watched Sopranos like I've been doing the past couple of days. And yet what did he do? He sat in the office and just continued to break down game film and a recruit that he was not even going to get. It's like him talking about recruiting Jordan Thompson, which I actually want to play that in a little bit. Do we have that Jordan Thompson, Jay Johnson clip ready to roll? All right, we can get there in a second. But yeah, he talks about going to Omaha as a kid. He's in California, he's in the LSU baseball hat. It's like his entire life led here. He said it in his opening press conference. And now already, Scott Woodward, take about 2 years in, here it is. He's got it, dude.
And some people might not understand this. You might say, well, it's LSU. Why would you not go there? But he's a West Coast guy. He's as West Coast could be.
Yep.
I've told you the story 1,000 times. I met him when he was an assistant at the University of San Diego. He stayed on the West Coast. That's who he was. He's the head coach at Point Loma. He's there at Arizona. He was an assistant at USD. But he realized, because he got so close. He's a win away from winning Omaha before at Arizona. And he knew that he had an opportunity at that school where he might, maybe, one day. But he knew if he went to LSU, it was going to happen.
Yeah.
So that was his sacrifice. Look, I'm going to go somewhere that I've never been. And look, we know how that turns out sometimes. Sometimes you can be a really good coach, and then you go to the SEC, you go to some foreign land, and then here it is. Right? You're swimming in it, and it's too much for you.
I know I talk crap about him all the time, but he is a good coach. If you just look at his resume, but look at Harsin.
Yeah.
Right? Harsin over at Auburn. He went into Auburn, and a lot of the same questions were raised about Jay that were raised about Brian Kelly as well. Harsin failed that test spectacularly. Kelly's passing it, and now Jay has completely passed it.
Yeah, we could. If we sat here, we could go to 1,000 examples of guys that came into the SEC that didn't really have a footprint here, and it's just swallowed them up.
Yep.
So there's always that chance. Yes, LSU is the most attractive baseball job out there, but
Moorhead. I forgot about. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. Joe Moorhead was like a weird little
poor fella.
electrical impulse that just popped into my head.
I'm so glad
crap,
you did.
Joe Moorhead.
Yeah, perfect example, T.
What a time.
A perfect
like
example.
Like you said, though, dude, these are shark-infested waters.
Yes.
Like you get swallowed up, literally. Here, not Jay Johnson.
Nope.
He is the shark, a tiny one, but a big one at the same time. You know what I'm saying? That's the smallest great white I've ever seen, but he's just as dangerous.
That's right.
Just as dangerous.
I don't think there's anything I can add to that.
Shout out to Wes Johnson as well, man. I'm going to miss him. That guy. And it's funny, too, because 3 weeks ago, everybody thought Wes Johnson sucked. I never thought that, but I just mean like the general fan perception was like, Wes Johnson sucks, this bullpen sucks, and then guess what, Jake? You just won a College World Series. We're going into last night, Handy pointed this out, in Omaha, you were batting 200, averaging 4 runs a game.
Yeah.
And you just so the pitching won you in the end, and you didn't even have schemes for the final 3 games. Wes Johnson, take a bow, dude.
No question about it. No, and how many times have we gotten here, every show in Baton Rouge, every show throughout Louisiana, and talked about what? It's got to be the offensive win. It's got to be the offensive win. Well, we are big dummies because it wasn't the offense. It was the pitching staff. It was the relievers. It was Ty Floyd. Of course, it was Paul Skeens. It was also Thatcher Heard. Thatcher Heard gives up a 2-run bomb to a player that's hotter than a tin roof in the first inning, and you're like, oh, God.
No, okay, so that's what we talk about, man. It's so easy to fall into the trap of, after we saw what happened, being like, it was always going to happen that way. But it did not feel like that when all of a sudden you're coming off a 24-4 and then it's 2-0 immediately. It felt awful.
It felt terrible.
It felt like, here we go again. Pack it up. But then, oh, God, I got goosebumps. My nipples are hard because then that next inning, who came through and put you on the board and really set Jordan Thompson, dude. Jordan Thompson. Okay, let's go ahead. Let's go to break. Manage the clock a little bit here. And When we get back, we'll play the Jay Johnson, Jordan Thompson clip from the post game last night because it's pretty incredible, y'all. And it speaks to a lot of different things that we can break down. Coming up next here on OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to centralplumbing.org, 925-8552. Oh, wow.
Hey.
Centralplumbing.org. Those are shit
Pipes are a
burps.
little.
Yeah. Oh, my pipes my pipes are screwed. Central Plumbing, this would be a great, if you worked on vocal pipes, you'd make a lot of money off of this guy right here because I'm a fried boy. These things are rusted out, crumbling, just pouring more and more crap down them, spitting out crap full of BS. But you know what? If your toilet's full of BS, go over to centralplumbing.org. Central Plumbing, 925-8552. 50 years of pain family's been at it, man.
Centralplumbing.org is the website, 225-925-8552. I'm sure they had some fun celebrating last night as well.
Don't flush them wipes, dude. Otherwise, you're going to be calling Central Plumbing.
Oh,
you flush some baby wipes.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't flush the baby wipes. Get your diapers heated, but it's okay. Yeah, if you do flush the baby wipes because you didn't hear us talking about it, you do need to go to centralplumbing.org, 225-925-8552.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Oh, hey, what's up? It's Big D and Bubba, 100.7 The Tiger Morning Show. We'd love for you to join us every weekday, 4 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Yeah, everything you want in a show. Country music. We got laughs. We got celebrity in-studio guests. We just need you.
Join us every weekday morning, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m., right where it all started.
That's right. Louisiana's country station, 100.7 The Tiger.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust Poll of the Day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, live at lunch on Palmer. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the Poll of the Day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on.
It's Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Tuesday's AFR. We're recapping the National Championship game. Tigers and Gators. Who is victorious? We're talking about it Tuesday, 3 to 6. Join us, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Start with straight shots and then pop bottles.
Yeah.
Flirt with the hood rats, then pop models. Start with straight shots and then pop bottles.
Yeah.
Flirt with the hood rats, then
Okay,
pop
we
bottles.
poppin' champagne like we won a championship game. Look like I got on a championship ring. Cause
then pop bottles. Pour it on the models. Shut up, swallow. If you can't swallow, shut up, goggle. Straight up out that water with my Mark Jacob goggles.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Lester Earl tweets us and says, everyone laugh at Glenn. And look, man, when you're in the media business, you take and, you get burned sometimes. But this is a column from June 25th, 2021. Headline, Glenn Guilbeau reads, LSU Scott Woodward only singles with baseball coach hire of Arizona's Jay Johnson. Oof. Oof.
Oh,
but, well, first off, stick to like writing about politics like Outkick does. But secondly, it's actually geniusly representative of why Scott Woodward's such a beast.
Yep.
Because it's not just hiring the name, though sometimes the name is the play, right? Like getting Brian Kelly is a coup, that's the play. Getting Kim Mulkey is a coup, that's the play. But with the baseball field, there wasn't that guy out there, right? Wasn't Pat Casey maybe probably the closest thing to being like the name that people were going afterwards, but there wasn't a great name out there. I mean, there was some talk, Bianco, of course, but just because, yes, hiring a name is a huge deal if the name is actually effective. And Coach Mulkey had already won multiple natties. Look what happened. Brian Kelly won his coach at all of college football. The resumes spoke for themselves, right? But sometimes if the name isn't there, you have to bet on yourself. You have to go outside of it. And that's what he did to find Jay Johnson. And, well, I know you were fired up because you already knew Jay.
Yeah. Yeah, I knew him. I had a relationship with him. I say relationship. It was a quick offseason during the lockout when he was at USD, and that's where we worked out. And I'm like, this guy go home? He was always in the weight room, around the field, working with some different player. And so introduced myself, ended up getting to know him a little bit, and obviously remembered the name and then followed him.
So you introduced yourself at the time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. You know me. I'm a big baseball fan as well. So I see
who they have on the team.
Chris Bryant.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, recruiting. You had Chris Bryant over there. San Diego State. Was San Diego State or San Diego?
San Diego.
San Diego.
University of San Diego, which is up on top of a mountain, incredible campus. If you don't get a scholarship, you better have a good job. But it was, I was like, I recognized who he was. He was an assistant. He wasn't even the head coach.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah, he was just an assistant. I'm like, this dude's.
Oh, that's when he was recruiting coordinator, though,
yes.
Right? And he was putting together classes that San Diego should have never been able to achieve.
Yes. And so, you recognize that, and then he goes and he's a head coach in a couple of different places. But I was like, man, I know this guy. You can see the way he works. And then, obviously, his resume, wasn't the resume. What he did at Nevada, what he did at Arizona spoke for itself. But it wasn't the name, to T-Bob's point. And Scott is, for whatever reason, at the beginning, it's like, he's going to go after the biggest name, the biggest name, the biggest name. Well, don't always believe the headlines as well. Don't always believe the names that are thrown out there. Scott's got a purpose and a reason for everything that he does. And I've told y'all this, but I remember having a conversation with him when he brought in Sean Hudson, the soccer coach. LSU soccer hasn't been good, right?
Yeah, they've been awful.
And they've been to the NCAA tournament, right? The last 2 years?
I don't mean they've been awful the last 2 years. They were awful
before,
previous
right?
to Sean Hudson.
Right, and that's a soccer coach.
Vastly improved.
Right? A soccer coach, everybody's like, oh, he doesn't care about that. He sat there and told me exactly why he hired her and went through the process. And he's like, hey, we stole one from the state of Colorado.
You know what it is, too, is I was talking to somebody about this, my boy Nathan at Don Juan. Shout out Nathan Galena last night. Kim Mulkey could coach any sport. There are traits and attributes that the great coaches and these leaders have where you could place them in any sport. And yes, they would have to learn the intricacies and maybe even they could almost be like a Ted Lasso though. Where they have such a fundamental understanding of leadership, how to motivate, how to recruit, that they can be successful wherever they go. I think Scott has an excellent way of identifying those traits in people.
How many times have we talked with Jay and he's related to what they're doing? He's like, hey, kind of like in football.
In football, dude. He's such a football
He
bro.
talks about it and he'll kind of give you, hey, this is what, if you're trying to figure this out, in football, this is kind of the same situation. So to your point, yeah. I mean, it's minds like that. I mean, Brian Kelly, kind of the same mind.
Yeah.
Like when you have a conversation about him, man. And if you're an LSU coach going into year 2, giddy up.
Dude, what about I mean, does Jay realize? I mean, I'm sure. Do you think he realizes the legend that he is now already? Because
I don't know if he's a guy that can
relative, and he'll never bask in it. He's probably, like we said, he's probably on the phone with Chase Burns right now, planning like, "Hey, when do you want to announce?" But it's just one of those things where it's like he's a made man. I guess I've been watching too much Sopranos. He's a made man though now.
I'm so proud of you, by the way.
It's so good. I mean, it's. So
Are you kind of
good.
like, what was I doing?
It's so freaking good, dude. I'm so excited for the next, few weeks, months, however long it takes me to do it. But anyway, like he is a made man for life now at LSU. After the longest drought since you won the first one, he brings back the natty. He does it in year 2, and he just made it look so. Nothing about it feels fluky. You know what I'm saying?
No.
It's all process oriented. It's all hard earned. You dealt with injuries. It wasn't like you didn't have great injury luck. You didn't have the worst, right? You didn't get you've seen where seasons can literally just get effed up because you just get like unbelievably unlucky. But you got pretty damn unlucky. And you lost nothing was fluky. Everything was planned, earned. The mental, I keep going back to the word toughness, Jake. It's like you said, it's because they were down and out multiple times and they're just too tough.
Yeah. Down and out to teams and to programs and players that you thought would finish them, like any other team would finish them.
Yeah, 100%.
Wake Forest, Florida, whoever it might be. Even Tennessee, like in that game that you had to win, you're like, oh, man, you see who they have available, and they didn't get it done. And Jay never panicked. I mean, we were fortunate to talk with him every single week here, and he never
kept joining us. He didn't avoid the media. Yeah, he was super chill.
Like even the Mississippi State series where you look like you're about to just run away with that series, and they win the final 2 games. He came on here, and there was no panic.
No.
It was even keel. Hey, here's the situation. Here's what it is. Here's what we have to fix. And, I mean, you can't say enough about the mentality.
What's like after you lose to Wake Forest? He said, boys, here's the plan, okay? Is who we're pitching tonight.
Yep.
Is who we're pitching next day. Is who we're pitching next day. And then he even went through Monday. He went through yesterday.
Yeah.
And Thatcher Heard was that name on. Now, he didn't reveal us the Saturday, Sunday, Monday names originally, but now we know exactly what that whiteboard. He saw the future, dude. He literally wrote out the future, and then his team went and did it. God, we still haven't gotten the Jordan Thompson clip because we keep it distracted. All right, let's close out the show next, and we'll play
Not the
next.
show, the hour.
Yeah, my bad. The hour, not the show, the hour. More OTB next.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to allstartoyotabatonrouge.com. We celebrating today, man, here on OTB. And look, as always, y'all, we want you to show love to those who show love to us. And there is no bigger supporter than All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge when it comes to Off the Bench. That's why you see the signage here. That's why we do the 2 live reads a day. They're our boys. So get in there. And to be clear, like I would not be pushing this if I wasn't a very satisfied customer myself. We don't get free cars or anything, okay? I love my Toyota Sienna. I've really enjoyed my Camry for the past 3 years. Lease up time. I think I might go Sequoia or something next. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do, but what I do know, I'm going to go to All-Star Toyota, and I'm going to let them guide me through that process because I know I'm going to get the right vehicle for me.
Yeah, I'm in the same spot, T. I don't know exactly where we're going to go now that we have baby Harlow and the Highlander. It's a mid-size SUV. But we can go to the full-size SUV. We can go to the minivan. We got a couple of options. You do as well. AllStarToyotaBatonRouge.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
The importance of doing this fortified program and offering it to people down here is, number one, the only real chance you're going to get to do this is when you put on a new roof or build new. And through companies like HUDCO, who's kind of leading the way in this thing, it's going to offer the customers a huge advantage in the insurance market and the price of their insurance.
You know, we're not looking to make a fortune off fortifying. We're trying to give you a better product than our competitor at the moment. I'm trying to do something that he can. I'm trying to give you something better. So a lot of these insurance shops, you're getting a re-roof, you're only paying your deductible. Let's sit down and talk about the fortified and let's see what it does to your insurance premium. You're getting a steal. You're getting a brand new roof and a fortified certificate for your deductible, essentially. I think we're rocking and rolling.
This summer, retirement is a state of mind. Whether it's a mid-morning activity or an early bird special, grab a Coors Light and chill like you're retired.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door.
Join me, Jimmy Ott, for the Tuesday edition of Live at Lunch, live from Doe's Eat Place on Government Street in the heart of Mid-City. It's Live at Lunch, Tuesday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
You can stand me up at the gates of hell, but I won't back down. No, I'll stand my ground. Won't be turned around. And I'll keep this world from dragging me down. Gonna stand my ground. And I won't back down.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
I mean, Mario, by the way, you'd be great with music today. But hey, I mean, like, Florida, I don't know. I mean, this actually describes LSU's Omaha perfectly. Like, they stood their ground. They never backed down. They took on all comers. Shout out Tom Petty.
How bad do you think
they wrote this song about LSU, actually?
Yeah, I think he did. That's the way I've always interpreted it. Like, how do you think they feel about the Tigers in Gainesville? Just after throwing a cleat, making a 57-yard field goal in the fog. 2021, Ty Davis Price runs counter 97 times. You know it's coming. You can't do anything about it, right? They big boy you, and they make you basically quit. No, not but you did. You quit because you didn't want to tackle him again. Last year, Anthony Richardson didn't matter. You go to their place, you throttle them, and then you come back and you beat them in the baseball championship series. Like, kind of the one thing in the last decade that you really had over LSU was 2017.
Yes.
It was like that one thing that you were holding on to. You were grasping.
And if they had won again,
they would have
been big D bragging rights.
Even with all the success we've had against football.
It's hard to come back from losing two natties to that team, dude.
No doubt. And now that rope, it has slipped out of their hand. They're in a free fall.
Okay, let's get to Jordan Thompson. So here is Jay Johnson post-game last night. There's a lot of talk, don't start Thompson, blah, blah. Here's how Jay Johnson approached Jordan Thompson after that just brutal mental test he had to go through Sunday.
Way back before any of this LSU stuff, when he was a 15-year-old kid, I was trying to recruit him to Arizona as a pitcher. I mean, and I remember walking him by at a tournament. He had just picked LSU over Arizona, and he just looked and he kind of went and go like this, and I shake my head and I said, "I'm still mad at you. I'm still mad at you." It's a great family. Cole Holland is high school coach at Helix High School, is a good friend of mine as well, and. So, there's a lot of history there before me taking the job. As I mentioned with Dylan, knowing Jordan was here for at least a couple years, that was an appeal to it. Then last year, the guy got so many big hits, but he made so many errors at the beginning of the season. Nobody paid any attention to how important a player he was for our team. And it pissed me off a little bit, to be honest with you.
Yep.
It pissed me off, frankly, because we wouldn't have even been in a regional last year if it wasn't for Jordan Thompson. And then we went to work. Every day, August 21st on, the first day of school, we had skill instruction with infield defense. And I'm really proud of the season that he had. And he had a tough tournament until tonight. He got way outside of himself at the plate. And but there was no way we were going to take the defense out because the defense had been so good. And then he made 2 errors yesterday, and they were really simple. He came out of his fundamentals on the double play ball by trying to do too much, and then he tried to do too much and get the guy at third base. And so if you just identify them for what they are and then coach them through it, there was never any thought of taking them out. And in the last 24 hours, just kind of, my wife's asking me to say, "Is Jordan okay?" and this and that, and not really knowing all of it. And so I just brought him into my room this morning and I go "Hey man, we're winning the national championship tonight, and you're going to do something special.
Wow.
But is there anything I can do to help you get to that point tonight?" And he looked me in the eye and said, "I'm good." And I saw tonight happen before it happened.
Oh, and he was good. Who made it 2-1 to get to start the crooked number? To start off that 6th spot that changed everything. Jordan, every defensive play, he was unbelievable last night. More OTB, rolling the Raw next.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
There it is, the extra mile. On the border of expected and extraordinary. For those willing to go further. Like vans customized for work or play. With safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Hello, Samantha, dear, I hope you're feeling fine. And it won't be long until I'm with you all the time. But until then, I spend my money up right down on my last dime. Come home in Baton Rouge. I'm ready what you put me on through. Gotta send my love down the
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $25,000 off new 22 Ram 1500 SCA trucks and incredible deals on all remaining 2022 inventory. All with Bayou's 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
Good morning, everybody. It is 9 a.m. on Tuesday, June 27th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect sunny skies with a high of 99. Coming up on OTBOT, LSU baseball has won the national championship. We break it all down, and Kendall Rogers of D1 Baseball joins the show at 9:30. You can follow today's show on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at OTB_ESPN, or catch us on YouTube at the 104.5 ESPN channel and subscribe for daily content. OTBOT, live from the Mercedes-Benz Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
Let we go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, P, they said I gotta come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
Yo. What's happening, y'all? Welcome to hour number 3 of OTB. Celebratory edition, as yet another Natty is coming to Baton Rouge, man. Hey, Tennessee, what's up? Everything school? Like I told you, everything but a ring. We stacking them over here, okay? And if these second-year hires by Scott Woodward are to be believed, and if this Jaden Daniels hype I'm hearing and watching him throw the Manning camper to be believed, you know, we're gonna see. We're gonna see what happens come fall. I am on the warpath saying that Georgia's not going to win a third natty in a row because it just doesn't happen. Just doesn't happen. They're not going to. But I don't give a damn about that today. We're talking baseball today. Well, actually, before we talk baseball, though, Jake, how's the new baby doing? How's fifth dad life going on?
Everything's great.
It was Thursday, right? Thursday afternoon?
Thursday night.
Okay, Thursday night.
Like
right when Tanks
as soon as Tanks hit the walk-off. I mean, obviously I've never had any experience with anybody else, but Katie's, I mean, she's just, it's unreal. Like every nurse that comes in there, my mom, who's a nurse for almost 20 years, like I just don't understand how you make it look so easy. And, you know, she's like waited on a doctor a couple of times. And kind of same situation, waiting on the doctor, watching some LSU baseball. Tommy Tanks hits a walk-off. Here comes baby Harlow.
Wow. So she held her in for the doctor?
Yeah, just waiting.
Wow.
Just playing the waiting game.
Impressive.
Then here comes baby Harlow, and we stayed a couple nights in the hospital. Baby Harlow is home, and she thinks this championship stuff is easy. Like,
Born into it.
What are we talking about here? Like a couple days old, got a natty.
Harlow's a spoiled sports fan already.
Already.
Has no respect for the grind. Has no respect for getting knocked out by Southern Miss last year. Only to now fight back. Her only time on earth, she's just seen straight ass kicking. You know what, though? She did go through a low moment on Sunday.
Yeah,
You know?
that's right.
She had experienced a little, her first sports adversity came Sunday. And now now look at her. Is it a little weird changing them diapers, dude?
It's different. It's a little different. It's a little
Remember,
different.
front to back.
It's a little different.
You can't go all willy-nilly back to front.
Yeah, I mean,
We gotta-
boys,
we-
it's just,
it
you
doesn't
do
matter
whatever you
what-
want.
yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
It doesn't really matter.
It's a little different here.
Yeah, I mean, already sleeping, a little bit. You know, take the night shift a little
Knock
bit
on
because
wood.
you do got to wake them up. Like even if they're sleeping, you still got to wake them up. Got to make sure that they're eating. All that, but I wasn't quite sure what to expect. From my end, I knew that Katie would crush it, but being 38, being out of the game for 7 years, wasn't quite sure how it was going to work out.
Like Jordan coming out of retirement, wearing the
basically,
4-5.
I'm wearing 45 now. So,
how are the boys taking it? New little
Good.
baby sister. We
Good.
said we talked about it the other day, but like, my God, in about 15 years, 16 years, whoever tries to come courting, they're gonna have to work through a freaking Secret Service security team to get there.
yeah, and Jackson, our oldest, 13, who's a giant. Y'all saw him the other day when T was out. He came in and hopped on with me. He's the one that is.
Oh, well, yeah, I heard he came in and did the show. That's awesome, dude.
Yeah. Well, you
That's
remember
sick.
Memphis came in like
Yes, I
a
remember
year
that.
ago,
Yeah,
maybe
yeah, I remember
longer.
that.
And Jackson's always been like, Dad, like I know way more sports than Memphis. Like, what are we doing here? And so he came and dude, he did an Ask Jackson segment. And of course,
that's awesome.
He knows his stuff, and so he was ready to go. But he is the one that like more than any of the boys is like feeding her, holding her, like wanting to
Really?
be around her. So good luck,
Wow,
because he's 6 foot 215 as a 13-year-old.
That's cool, dude. That's cool. Look at this. Jennifer Lovett says, congrats to all the Hesters. I'm the only girl after 4 boys, and it's a sweet life. That girl's got it made. That's awesome, man.
It's been great. It's been it is different. I didn't know how different it would be, but it is completely different.
Hell yeah.
In a good
man.
way. In a very good way.
Yeah, and I mean, it doesn't get any better than winning the Natty immediately afterwards. Unfortunately,
Yeah, it would have felt weird.
Bobby was born into a 50 to 20 something ass kicking in Atlanta, but it's okay. We knew it was gonna happen. It's not a big deal.
It is great that she'll always have like an LSU moment. We'll know exactly what was going on in
Yep.
LSU sports. And hey, you were born, and then Tanks went deep.
God.
I tried to get Harlow Tanks.
Yeah, I was about to say, if y'all don't know, her full name is Harlow Tanks Hester.
Yeah.
Because of the home run. Can't believe Katie approved it, but
Yep,
she
she
actually
did.
let her daughter be named after the ideal male. Which, by the way, me and Tommy Tanks don't want to say, he's a good-looking guy. I think he's pretty damn good-looking.
You know what? We didn't
Pretty
even
similar.
include Tommy Tanks in kind of our peak male performance body. I mean, he could have been included.
He's on the edge. He's on the edge. He's a little
He could have been included in
maybe slightly too well defined to make the list, but he's damn close. Why do all of them just look like me with their chubby bodies and disconnecting mustaches? It makes me so happy. I feel so well represented. Never felt it. Well, actually, Aggenhauser just looks like Will Block.
Can I tell you
100%.
something? And this was a compliment from a 7-year-old.
This is a hell of a setup here. Yeah, yes.
Memphis said, "Why does everybody look like T-Bob on the baseball team?"
Boys. Yeah, like we said, dude. It's the summer of the thickness.
Now it was Ackenhausen on the mound. He's not. Now you know what? He's not too thick. It's a good thick.
No. He's a good thick. I mean, Cooper's a good thick dude.
I was like, actually, he looks like Mr. T-Bob's friend Will Blackwell. If we're actually like splitting
That's like
hairs
his
here.
true twin. That's his true twin. But look, we've had a hot boy summer. This is thick boy summer, okay? And it led you to a natty, okay? All you out here trying to get skinny, taking shortcuts, okay? You know why Cade Beloso got plunked off the bat last night? Because he has more mass.
Yeah.
It's a bigger target. He has a literal gravitational pull that, just sucks the ball right into you. That was, dude, Caglione, you knew he was in trouble.
Yeah.
Now, it looked like he recovered, but major red flag when the whole scatter report on you is he gets pretty wild sometimes. Yeah. And you don't just, clip the guy.
No.
You freaking lose it. Like a 90-degree angle to the left. and plunk the first guy.
Again, like I'm sure you've talked about it. I was trying to listen on the way in, but they had everything available. They had everything set up like they would want it, like in a perfect world. They had Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah.
Ready to go.
Yeah, everything.
And look, and you got a performance from Ty Floyd, 17 strikeouts. Thank God that will not be lost, and that will be talked about forever. You pieced it together a little bit, and then you have Thatcher Heard, who was kind of forgotten about in the middle of the season. Like, you kind of cringed a little bit when he came in. Everybody, hand up. They had exactly what they wanted. Yeah. They had the rest. They had every advantage until you took that advantage away from them. It could not have happened any better. Beating the only other number one team, beating that team in the finals with every piece that they wanted. No excuses. There's nothing they could have said. And you went out there and you found a way.
Again, you beat the only other number one team. Florida was clearly the second best team, SEC regular season champions as well. And then you beat Tennessee, who had early season struggles, but has like more MLB talent than maybe anybody. Or right there with everybody. So the run, nothing was easy. But like we talked about yesterday, it's the adversity of human, or it's the paradox of humans when it comes to adversity. The harder something is, the more you hate it when you're doing it because it's tough and it pushes you to limits, but the more you look back on and you're like, man, I did that. Like, you have real deep pride. I love this quote from Cade Beloso. Do I have my document brought up here? Yeah, okay, here, hold on, let me find it. Here it is. Cade said, quote, "We enjoyed being around each other every day. I'm sad it's over. We just won the national championship, but I'm sad we're not going to practice and play anymore. But man, I'm going to look forward to those reunions." And yeah, that last part rings so true. And you can speak to Jake winning in 2007 for sure, and I can as well, certainly to an extent. But like, it's just different, man. You lose that game, and those reunions don't happen.
Yeah.
Like, the only reason we even had a 2011 reunion last year is because some of the guys basically forced it upon LSU. It was not brought to us the same way the 07 reunion was. They're like, oh, it's been 10 years, let's do this. No, like, we had to go and basically ask for it. It just doesn't happen. Now, these guys, they're bonded for life.
And think about that. I mean, obviously we were here together, and that was healing for you.
Yeah.
Like, having that moment, having that reunion.
Oh, yeah, we talked about it yesterday, because that's the other thing about this is that was the closest team I've ever been a part of, and yet all those relationships shattered.
Yeah.
That's what a lot of the boys talked about. They shattered. Everybody went their different direction, and it's so toxically, their relationships that were forged over years were just broken. And that doesn't happen when you win a championship, because now you do a parade together.
Yeah.
And you do parties. Like, they did it, man. They followed through. And it's, God, it was just fun to watch, man. Do we want to talk? I don't think we need to replay the whole thing, but we didn't really get to talk about what Jay Johnson said about Jordan Thompson. And I feel like we need to like discuss it a little bit, because there's just so much to take out of that, right? The belief that a coach can give you as a player, the confidence of Jordan Thompson saying, no, I don't need anything, coach. Like, I'm good to go. I'm ready for this. I love, because you know, a lot of times, obviously, Jay has better perspective on stuff than we do, and I like hearing him get a little pissed off.
Yeah.
Where he's like, yeah, I mean, all y'all don't really get it. Like, you used a bad sample size in the beginning of the year to discolor the entire year. And that's happened a few times, right? It's even sometimes when he's been asked about, like, leaving guys on base, where he's like, well, we have, like, the best on-base percentage in the country. So, like, of course you're going to leave more guys on base. Now, it got bad during the College World Series, certainly, but you found a way last night. But Jordan Thompson, man, so look at that hug. Is that him and Jay?
Yeah.
I mean, that's unbelievable, dude. That is a man in Jordan Thompson who had to process some of the lowest, most challenging moments that you can as an athlete, and yet found a way out to the other side and didn't just play good, played great yesterday. I mean, there were a couple liners there, Jake, when the game was still close, where he comes off the bat and you're like, and then it just basically transports to Jordan Thompson's glove. He was always exactly where he needed to be.
Yeah, I mean, he was even close. Like, even when he was like down bad, like, he was close to getting it out of the ballpark and just kept it in. And so he started to figure it out himself a little bit. Even when he got out yesterday, it was hard hit and great mentality because he has played a fantastic shortstop. And, you know, the second play yesterday, I've been there. I know you've been there. Anybody that's played at that level or higher has been there when you're trying to get out of the slump and you're doing too much and you're trying to play outside of your body. Like when he turned back, throws it to third, the guy on third was standing on the base. So it wasn't even a situation where he thought maybe he had a play. He was just trying to do so much to get out of the slump. We've all been there. We've all tried to do too much. Yeah. You know that feeling. And it's hard to come back from that, but he came back from it in a day.
Yeah, see, so yeah, I mean, we said that's the play where I was like, can he come back? Because I don't know.
Yeah,
because you only make that play when you're teetering on the. I didn't want to voice it yesterday, but you only make that play when you're teetering on the yips.
Yeah,
and it's kind of like it's like Markelle Fultz just forgetting to shoot how to shoot.
Yeah, it's like you and Chuck Knobloch are like hand in hand.
Like, what's going on? Is he going to be okay? And then he was great. And he's great. And for him to get that first review. And a lot of people have been mentioning in the chat, but shout out to the LSU fans. Standing O for him his first at bat. You know, not hating, supporting, showing love. And as human beings, you know, we can always use a little more of that, especially today. And, well, that love was the word. Oh, the Cruz jumping catch at 6'2". Oh, my God. It was so good. It was so everything about yesterday was so good. Sorry, Florida, you didn't have your 30-mile-an-hour winds to help you out this time, you friggin' nerds. Did you read that about the 50-degree launch angles?
Yes. Yeah, I mean,
unbelievable.
Insane. Two of them. I mean, two home runs. One that they talked about for 2 innings, and I get why they talked about it for 2 innings, and then Caglione gets another one that beat the one they talked about.
Yeah.
For 2 innings.
Never been done in MLB history. That win was crazy. There was a time yesterday where I was like, are the weather gods really going to cost us this thing? Is the literal shifting of the winds going to be what decides this?
By the way, Florida, what are we doing with the gator skin numbers? Oh,
so
terrible. Terrible.
I mean,
awful.
I might be the minority. I think Florida has awful everything. I hate the color combinations. I don't like any of their uniforms. I don't like any aesthetic. I think Florida has bad aesthetics, top to bottom.
Well, you don't help it out when you put gator skin numbers on your face. If LSU ever came out with tiger striped baseball numbers, Hunt would go burn the box down. He'd burn it to the ground.
That would look very stupid, for sure.
I know my guy Mongo would never do that, but I'm just saying.
Let's go to break. We're continuing to celebrate today. More OTB coming up next.
OTB, OT.
It's insurance. Riverlands Insurance, man named Best Workplace by Insurance Business Magazine 2022. One of the fastest growing companies in the insurance companies in the entire South. Made right here in the boot, right? We've been talking about this National Championship made right here. In the boot. This is a weird place, okay? A lot of idiosyncrasies, a lot of intricacies, a lot of odd things that others do not, right? And that extends into the insurance game. But the thing about Riverlands and our guy Thomas Email is that, again, born into it, molded by it. Nobody knows it better. So whatever your insurance needs are, no matter how obscure, unique, whatever, you go to Thomas. He's going to save you money. 225-206-1517.
Yeah, call that number today anywhere in the state of Louisiana. If you're listening to us up in Shreveport, Alexandria, here in Baton Rouge, down in New Orleans, wherever you're taking in today's show, we are talking to you in the state of Louisiana. 225-206-1517.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
It's Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Tuesday's AFR. We're recapping the national championship game. Tigers and Gators. Who is victorious? We're talking about it Tuesday, 3 to 6. Join us, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
OTB OT with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
Alex Anderson saying all of Florida's merchandise, like uniforms included, look like they were purchased at a grocery store. So it's not like... You know what's funny, man? I kind of think Tennessee's baseball uniforms are garbage as well. And I don't know why. They look cheap.
The Grays?
Yeah.
So I've had this conversation with multiple people. I think Tennessee has the worst color combo in the entire SEC.
I love Tennessee orange.
I hate it.
I think it looks cool. The checkerboard looks sick. Like, it's very medieval feeling. But when I was looking at it, and I'm not a big uniform guy. Y'all know I don't like ever notice that stuff. Yeah. And I just thought it kind of looked like crap, man.
The problem with their football.
Yeah.
When they have their...
It's too Halloween-y.
Yeah.
When they go black and orange, it's way too Halloween-y. It just feels like it should be October and you're playing dress
When they
up.
do the orange jersey for football with the white numbers, you can't see the numbers. Because the orange is such like a yellow orange with the white number, it's so hard to see the number.
I don't actually...
Like if you're watching Tennessee on
noticed.
CBS 2:30 game, look at their numbers. You can't see.
They haven't played many of those. They'll be playing more nowadays, but they haven't played many of those.
Yeah.
Speaking of playing dress up, Jake, you talked to CD yet?
Ooh, no. And typically even when he loses a bet, he's, okay, like I'll pay up. And so if you don't know, Chris Doering and Peter Burns, started like 4 or 5 years ago, SEC This Morning, we all did the show together, and it was a bet. And Florida at the time, they were 2020, 2021, like you didn't really know how it was going to go for LSU. Certainly 2020 when LSU was a 3-touchdown dog. They have a bet, and they say, hey, if the winner gets to pick the outfit, and then the loser's got to wear it on set. And CD has been a yodeler. He's been Tiger King. He's been the Monopoly Man. He has been, a clown?
I thought he was Mr. Peanut.
Yeah, Mr. Peanut. That's who it was.
Yeah.
He's been a clown.
The sad clown.
The sad clown last year was great.
Didn't he have to interview Brian Kelly
while wearing the sad clown?
Sad clown makeup is just funny as hell. Like, no matter who you put it on.
Oh, it's so good. So CD has never won this bet. Ever since they've been doing it, he has lost the bet. And he's had to show up on national TV wearing these outfits. And this year, it's typically just football. Peter's like, hey, let's run the bet back. You want to run it back? And then, didn't really hear anything. And then PB says, okay, whoever loses has to wear the other team's full baseball uniform, hat, jersey, pants, baseball socks, some type of a spike, like an indoor spike, to travel to SEC Media Day. Not like, on TV.
On set,
on set around people I
was going to say, it may sound weird because you're like, well, he's going to be seen by way more people on TV, but that's fun. That's easy.
Yeah,
it's
easy. It's easy to do. You have to travel 2 media days, get on an airplane wearing a full baseball uniform. So Doering, who lives in Gainesville, will fly out of Gainesville to Nashville for media days, is going to be in full LSU baseball uniform, boarding a plane, walking into his hotel in Nashville, in which we'll all be there. We'll all have our cameras out, and we're going to troll. And a lot of times, because CD is one of my best friends, I feel bad for him. I really do. Like, honestly, I do. But he was so confident.
Yeah.
He sent the group text 2 and Q for the Tigers. I promise you. that I'm going to laugh my ass off. I'm going to enjoy this one.
Cue Lee Corso. Not so fast, my friend.
Can you imagine having to travel on an airplane in a full baseball uniform?
It's awful on multiple fronts. You look weird as hell. You're going to be feeling incredibly self-conscious the other time. What also comes into play is that obviously he's pretty famous, right?
Yeah.
And he probably sometimes wants to, not talk to people. Not in like a rude way, just like, hey, I'm tired. Like, I just want to, to work as a travel day. Like, who wants to be talking to people when you're traveling? Like, I'm just trying to get where I'm going. Mm-hmm. He is going to stick out, obviously, just off the bat. And then people are going to be like, oh, it's Chris Doring. Why are you wearing And he's going to have to talk to so many people.
He's going to try to get the earliest flight he can. He's going to have to
explain what's going on to so many people. Is there anybody to document if he goes through the Gainesville airport to win it? Because he could try to pull a fast one and maybe do like an airport change once he lands.
No, I mean, he's got to do he's got a video.
No, I
this.
agree. I'm just saying, y'all make sure that somebody's documented.
I mean, he's got to do it all. And, LSU is always really good about stuff like this, like helping out in a situation like this. We need to get him like his name and number on the back. Doring 28, so everyone knows that it's Chris Doring. Like, leave no doubt.
Oh, my God, dude. A month after losing a natty, less than a month, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, that man's going to have to fly to the Gainesville airport wearing the full uniform of the team that you just suffered at the hands of.
Championship gold, right? Probably the move.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah.
I mean, I like the white pinstripes, probably I think my favorite. I don't know. But yeah, make him wear the championship gold for sure.
I just got confirmation from the equipment room. They said they will absolutely help out.
Oh, let's go, dude. Ashley, Megan, this whole story is a perfect example of play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Don't bet against LSU. Tell him, Ashley. Get his ass. All right, coming up next, let's talk to Kendall Rogers, D1 baseball. See what he has to say about the path that LSU went on. Provide us a little national perspective on this Tiger team. More next.
OTB, OT. In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
Biscuit. It's always buttery and savory. Then you add the spices, instant classic.
Order the spicy chicken biscuit on the Chick-fil-A app today. Real Chick-fil-A guests paid for their testimonials.
When you can find everything you need at prices you can afford, that's totally Target. It's that feeling when quality Good and Gather ingredients on the barbecue bring family around the table. Or when favorite day after practice snacks let you celebrate the whole team for less. It's when saving more on Up and Up sunscreen means more fun in the sun. And when Target Circle Rewards program gives you more perks on what you buy most and is always free to join, that's totally Target.
Join me, Jimmy Ott, for the Tuesday edition of Live at Lunch, live from Doe's Eat Place on Government Street in the heart of Mid-City. It's Live at Lunch, Tuesday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
OTB OT with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
What's happening, y'all? Welcome back, OTB. Boosie badass, LSU badass, D1Baseball.com, pretty badass as well. I pay for the SEC Extra myself. Love it. Mark Etheridge does a great job. You know who else does a great job? Man behind it all, Kendall Rogers, and he's good enough to join us here. I know it's a very busy time. It's a day after the Natty. Kendall, what's up, man? What's going on? How you doing today?
I'm doing awesome. I'm very impressed you were able to get up for the show this morning.
Yeah, I mean, look, bro, it's
You're such a professional.
It's well, I don't know about that. I just drank an entire bottle of champagne during the show.
That's my fault.
But I am here. Like, if being a professional is just actually like showing up and doing the bare minimum of the job, hell yeah, dude. Let's ride.
I'm very proud of you.
Yeah, and my voice is completely shot. Too much tobacco, too much alcohol, no sleeping. But you know what, Kendall? That's what you do when you win championships, bruh. And it's funny because y'all were talking about before the season, man. And this is a wild question to me because mathematically, the answer is easy. It's absurd. And the question was LSU or the field. What's your reaction now that in the 71st game, it ends up being LSU?
You know, I think it's pretty cool because I think the thing about LSU is, you know, people look at this loaded team and go, oh, you know, they're more talented than a lot of these teams. Like, that's kind of what we expected. But sometimes, like, when everyone expects it, that's really difficult because, you know, you come out of the fall, you know, every LSU fan, and granted LSU fans have high expectations, but like LSU fans felt like this season was national championship or bust. And I'll tell you what, when you're a 20 to 22-year-old and everybody thinks you have to win the national championship, man, that's a lot of pressure. So for this team to be as consistent as they were throughout the season, you know, play well in the postseason, play well in Omaha, you know, they're only the second team in the history of the College World Series to lose the second game and come back and win the entire College World Series.
Oh, is that right? I didn't realize it. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, Coastal Carolina is the only other team that, you know, won their first game, lost their second, and actually came back to win the College World Series. So, I mean, that's an impressive feat. And for this team, with all those expectations, to just knock down the door and win the national championship, that says a lot about these coaches, and that says a lot about the players, and it certainly says a lot about this program and what the kids in this program expect.
And, Kendall, it's the way they got it done. I mean, we were talking about it. If LSU wins a national championship, we're thinking it's because of offense and explosions all over the place. And they had one last night, but it was not the case in Omaha. And you and I have talked so many times about LSU and did they have enough pitching behind their front two starters, and then it wasn't really going well at the back end of the regular season and just flipped the switch. I mean, I don't know that I've ever seen it flipped like that, and to be able to be a question mark to being maybe the biggest strength that you had.
Yeah, I always feel like every postseason, like whatever team wins the national championship, guys just step up, and guys that most of the time it's guys you don't even expect. Yep. And in the middle of the season, I remember whether it was you or with Moscona or whoever, like I'd come on here and like the question every single week I'd go on the show was, well, will LSU's pitching staff outside of Paul Skeens ever figure it out? Will Thatcher Heard ever be a consistent pitcher? And Thatcher Heard was terrific in Omaha. Riley Cooper, terrific in Omaha. The list just kind of goes on. And so that's the biggest thing for me. And going away from the pitching for a second, there's nobody on that team that I'm happier for than Jordan Thompson. If LSU loses the national championship series after the way he played in that second game, like he's thinking about that for 2 months, and now
a guy for his whole life, Kendall, like that never goes away.
Doubt, man. That's his legacy, and unfortunately, that's his like. Even though he's done a lot of good things with this program, but I think that says a lot about Jordan Thompson with the way he responded. I thought it was awesome. Early in the game yesterday when LSU fans were like chanting his name. I know it sounds kind of hokey and all that, but like that's awesome, man. Like that is what a good culture is all about in a program.
Talking Kendall Rogers, D1 Baseball. Of course, chat's flooded with Kendall hates LSU, and I love it because Kendall's header on his Twitter is literally "My husband hates your team." Guys.
Well, Florida fans were telling me to quit being an LSU homer.
I know. No, that's how you know you're doing your job correctly, Kendall. Like it's like Gary. Everybody thinks that Gary D'Angelon hates their team. No, he's just go like you see that. Okay, but here's the deal, Kendall, because you do have so much great national perspective because you look at the whole picture. I view this sport through the lens of the team that I watch every week. And it's like how I watch the NBA, right? So I'm not watching like a random Wake game, a random Tennessee, or whatever. So my question is, give us some perspective on the road. You mentioned losing game 2, but give us a perspective on having to fight through Tennessee, Wake Forest, and Florida to end up getting that natty.
Well, I think the two things for me that stand out is, they lose to Wake Forest. I think with how good Wake has been this year, I think it'd be easy. And Jay Johnson made the comment last night in the postgame that, for the first time all year, he felt like the team looked pretty down after the Wake game. Mm-hmm. And it would be easy to, because if you look at Wake, they were set up perfectly to advance. Yep. And, LSU stepped up against those guys. I think, too, and I get it, you played sports and you know how you can kind of flip the script a little bit. But, I mean, I tell you what, when you lose 24-4, you can talk all day about how, we're just going to wash it off. We're going to come back tomorrow. It's a new day. But, I mean, that can be mental, man. And for this team to literally just do exactly what they said, come back the next day and return the favor, man, that's pretty magical stuff.
And, Kendall, I know you mentioned it earlier. During the postseason, guys always step up. We always have fantastic stories to tell. But the Kay Beloso story to me is fantastic. And obviously being here in Baton Rouge, we kind of all know how it played out. You get injured. You don't know if he's going to even play. And then when he decides to play, you're like, does he even have a spot? Like, is he going to find playing time on this roster? You have a couple of injuries. He's putting that roster. And he's batting leadoff. He's batting leadoff in the national championship, winner takes all game. I mean, just the Kay Beloso story and him coming back, I mean, is a perfect ending to a career that is like the ultimate LSU career.
There's no doubt, man. And I'll say this real quick before I talk about Kay, but, if you remember, and people talk so much about LSU, they're only doing this because they went in the portal. But let's not forget, Gavin Dugas, Jordan Thompson, Kay Beloso, all guys that were rumored last summer to go in the portal because the LSU was going in the portal and getting guys. All three dudes stuck around. Two of those guys with strong Louisiana ties. And I just think Kay Beloso, whether it's physically, personality-wise, or whatnot, like, for me, like, he is Mr. College Baseball. Like, he is what this sport is all about. For every Paul Skeens, there's not many of those guys, but for every Paul Skeens, there's 100 Kay Belosos. And for him to have the injury that he did, with LSU being stacked, he could have easily come back or easily gone in the portal. So, man, I'll go to somewhere else and be guaranteed a starting spot. The guy was patient. He put in his hard work, and he was awesome here. And to me, that is what college baseball is all about. There are guys like him getting a chance for a little redemption, and not only just stepping up, but just knocking the door down bigger than ever.
And Kendall, look, championships in their wake bring kind of legacy conversations, and I want you to just speak on Jay Johnson for a bit here, because here's someone who he had been in this situation before, right? Winning game one in the College World Series and go on to lose the next two. He's been in Omaha a couple times at Arizona. It was, at the time, a lot of people down here were like, who? When you hired him? Like, who is this? Like, this guy? And now in year number 2, Jay Johnson already, and it seems like he's wanted nothing ever else in his life except to be a college baseball coach. And now in year number 2, he's a natty champion.
Yeah, there's no doubt. It's kind of funny. I'll have a story on this later this week, but I was talking to Woodward last night about when they interviewed him, because I'll be honest with you, whenever, all the names were coming through on the LSU search, Pat Casey goes down there, Jim Schlossnagle had a little bit of interest, and then Jay Johnson's name came up. They were actually playing with Arizona here when his name came up to me. And I remember thinking, like, man, I love Jay. Like, I've known Jay forever, but that's kind of a strange fit. The West Coast thing has not really worked in the SEC. Like, I can't really see LSU hiring him. Wow. And as the next 24 hours, it was like, I think they're going to hire him. I think they're going to hire him. Well, then they hired Jay Johnson. And, like, he has embraced everything about LSU. Like, he's a West Coast guy. He's from Oroville, California. Like, he is an LSU dude now. And the thing about him, he is a tireless worker. I was talking to Rich Hill's former boss at USC, who's now the head coach at Hawaii. He said when he first hired Jay, he went over to his house, and I think he was like a newlywed or something. Or I can't remember the aspect of whether it was a girlfriend or newlywed or what. But he said he went over to his house one time, and like the living room had whiteboards all over it with names of recruits, depth charts. And he's like, this is his freaking living room, man. And so, like, that just kind of pulls the curtain and shows you, like, just how much of a crazy grinder that guy is. And so it doesn't surprise me with how much he grinds, how good of a coach he truly is.
Yeah, and Kendall, we were talking about that earlier, like, and we were talking about maybe football coaches that are really good in the transfer portal, but that's their strength. Maybe they can't develop. Maybe they're not as good of a coach as others. Like, it truly does feel like Jay kind of has a combination of both because of the work ethic that he has, because he's always recruiting. And so, like, you hear that stories like that, and you think LSU can kind of put together a couple of years here where you're going to be in Omaha and you're going – and I know LSU's had that history, but, look, it's died down a little bit, obviously, since 2009, and you only, had a chance to play in the championship series there in 2017. So, like, moving forward with the resources, with the want-to of LSU combined with Jay Johnson, it feels like this isn't going to be the first time.
No, I don't think it's going to be the last time they do this thing. I will say this, though. College baseball is very difficult right now. I mean, if you look at the SEC West, for instance, or the SEC in general, we're a drop pop fly from Arkansas against Oregon State away from the SEC having 6 straight national champions. So when you have a conference that has won 6 straight national championships, there's going to be years where it's just not going to be your team. Like, somebody else is going to come through and win that thing. Florida could have won the thing this year. I agree with you. I think there's going to be more than one. But I would say, hey, enjoy this, and let's not talk too much about what happening to win one next year.
Yeah, no, and I agree. Like, you got to bask as well, but it is, I guess, where it's even a bit different than something like football is like the SEC's dominance in football is really just like Alabama and Georgia. Now LSU peppered in, certainly, right? But it's very top heavy. Has every SEC team been? Am I missing something? Has it been a different winner all those years? Like, are you a pop fly away, not from having 6 champions in a row, but 6 different champions?
Yeah, it could be that way. And here's the thing too, and I know you kind of mentioned football real quick, but like the thing about SEC and baseball is this is an issue for the rest of college baseball. And I'm not saying it's hurting the sport, but what it's doing is in football, you're going to have USC with Lincoln Riley, you're going to have Ohio State Ryan Day. But I mean, the problem with baseball right now is the SEC is spending so much more money, and I'm not talking about NIL, but the SEC is spending so much more money on analysts, analytics, facilities, recruiting budgets, and the rest of college baseball is so far behind. And so the question for me will be, can the rest of the sport close that gap, or will the gap widen even more with not only the SEC but schools like LSU? It's going to be fascinating.
All right, Kendall, we'll let you go with this one. Is Chase Burns going to come to LSU?
That's an interesting one. So I'll give you a little intel on that one. I think LSU will have a shot. But I'll be honest with you, the school I'm hearing pretty heavily right now randomly is TCU.
What?
It sounds like they want to get him. It sounds like his people want to get him out of the SEC so he can start. I find that kind of interesting, to say the least.
Yeah,
but I mean, TCU makes sense with Kirk Saarloos there. Their head coach is a former pitching coach. Yeah. They're a big analytics school. But I mean, I've learned in the last year, never doubt Jay Johnson, because there was a point when Tommy White was considered a slam dunk to Florida State, and about 48 hours later, Tommy White's dad calls me and says, hey, he's going to LSU. So never count out my man Jay.
Kendall Rogers, D1Baseball.com. If you're a college baseball fan, you owe it to go subscribe to the site. They got SEC coverage, national coverage. They got it all. Kendall, thanks so much for waking up with us here on a very busy championship Tuesday. I'll try.
Thanks, guys.
All right, Kendall, take it easy, man. Close out the show a little. Wait, real quick. RejuveMeMedical.com. Restore me, refuel me, rejuve me. Okay, you want to feel young, energetic. Probably don't need it today. You probably feel like a spry little spring chicken today. But on the days where you don't have it, right, you need to get that energy rolling out of bed, into bed. Maybe HRT's for you. We'll figure it out. Maybe that was the bottle.
Dang it, Bobby.
That noises me over, almost knocking over the champagne bottle. A little menage a trois Prosecco. If you need to perform in a menage a trois, HRT's probably going to help you out, okay? So just here's the point. Go get your labs drawn. Figure out if you need it. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. Let them customize the plan to have you feel younger, better, stronger, faster. Like the PF Flyers of anti-aging clinics. RejuveMeMedical.com. Restore me, refuel me, rejuve me more. To be next.
OTB, OT. Our listeners fire off their opinions on the JimsFirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the JimsFirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
The world's leaders in obesity research, obesity medicine, and obesity science are right here.
We're doing something that no one's ever done, or trying to answer a question that no one's ever asked before.
Pennington is a real jewel when it comes to research.
We are finding the solutions to the world's worst chronic disease, which is obesity. Louisiana needs Pennington Biomedical.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust Poll of the Day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, live at lunch on Palmer. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the Poll of the Day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
There it is, the extra mile. On the border of expected and extraordinary. For those willing to go further. Like vans customized for work or play. With safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
I drove myself to the ER, had heart surgery, and drove myself home 24 hours later, feeling fine. Starting running again after the procedure, I'm getting excited thinking about it. I had no pain, nothing. I felt great. And right then and there, I was like, oh my God, I'm back. I'm back. It's just amazing.
Ochsner Health. Long live you.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644.
It's Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Tuesday's AFR. We're recapping the National Championship game. Tigers and Gators. Who is victorious? We're talking about it Tuesday, 3 to 6. Join us, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
OTB OT with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
Look, text from my girl Leafs. Congratulations to Jacob and Katie and the whole fam on the birth of Harlow Tanks.
There
you
yeah,
go.
Thank you. I appreciate
There's
that.
now going to be a lot of people in Baton Rouge that actually believe that it's Harlow Tanks Hester, and I love that.
Thanks
That
for
is the
listening
name.
right
That
now.
is on the birth certificate. So, hell yeah, dude. Crazy. I couldn't believe it either. Shout out Katie. You're a real one.
While T-Bob's dying, real quick, shout out to my guy, Matt Musso. Few people care about LSU baseball more, follow it with more passion, mess with each other a lot, but very happy for my guy today.
So where is he?
He's in Destin, I believe.
Oh, wow. I mean,
He is alive because I got a text from him this morning.
Okay.
So he is okay.
Okay. It's good. Yes, the one game we went to with Moose, he made me uncomfortable and how psychopathic he was.
Me too. I didn't like it.
I didn't like it either. And it partially was because it was COVID, and so it was like super quiet in there. But
there's like 10 people there, and Muso's just screaming.
Yes, from the suite too.
Yeah.
Normally the suite, you got to be a little highfalutin. You got to be like, you can get crunk, but you got to be a little like, I don't know. I mean, it was. I'm happy. I agree, Mark.
He was mad when they would go out for a mound visit. He was yelling at the Air Force coach, like, "How dare you,
dude!" It was.
Moose.
That was Paul Skeens.
It was Paul Skeens.
Air Force had a good. Did you see Air Force's tweet? They had a good tweet last night congratulating Paul Skeens. It showed him making the tournament with Air Force and then winning with LSU. It was cool.
Oh hell yeah! Air Force pitching coach was there too for the
Wake start.
Yeah, for the Wake start.
I don't know. Cool. I mean, Moose, pretty big LSU baseball fan, but he's in Destin. Hoot was in Omaha.
Yeah, what's going on, dude?
I mean, I don't know, Moose.
Yeah, is he a fake fan?
It feels like it.
People are talking, dude. I don't know.
Haney was in Omaha. Hunt was in Omaha. Hunt is missing his job to go to Omaha. Paid a lot of money, a lot of doll hairs.
Yeah, them tickets are expensive, Paul. Aspen's right by Cold Coors Live. Visit our Tilted Blue Moon Light Sky Stitcher Suite. Also, remember, Agatim at Baton Rouge. The radar this week, boys, looks like a Paul Skeens radar. It ain't messing around, bro. We're chopping triple digits all week long. You need to take advantage. You need to take control of your comfort zone. You want Agitip at Baton Rouge, your AC, heating, and electrical experts. Best service, hands down, service to the highest degree, and they mean that thing. Agitip, Baton Rouge. All right, let's see here. What we got? A little ask the bench. Do you have the chat brought up, Jake? I think my chat's behind.
Yes. Should Peter Burns be brought into HR for bullying CD at this point?
Oh, man. They at least need to have a conversation. I don't think an official write-up needs to happen, but they probably need to have a conversation at least.
Ask the bench, can we repeat? And we can.
I don't even care, dude.
I don't care
about that right now at all. We got to enjoy this. I'm not going full Nick Saban psycho next day. We got to get back on the trail. No, get the hell out.
Ask the bench, what the hell am I supposed to do until football starts? So it's not that far away, actually.
Bro, we're like, that's the best part about this. Like, we had all of this June content planned. Like, we're going to need tier lists. We're going to need movie reviews. And then it all went out the window because we've had, like, awesome sports to talk about every day.
That's true, it did.
July, we may get into some of this now, though. Yeah. Jake, so happy to have you here. Congrats on the new baby.
Sure.
Shout out, boys. Go Tigers, champs.
OTB, OT.